Okay. Gang, give me a minute. I'm just setting up. I didn't think I'd be streaming today, but we're going to stream it today. We're going live right now. I'm just getting people, like, links and stuff. Oh, God. There's a lot going on. We don't know precisely what's happening, but I needed to kind of do this. Give me 1 second, please. Okay, I'm getting relevant information up and running. Moment. How's everyone doing today? I hope they're good, but we have a problem and we need to address it. I don't know if I could show this on stream. I don't think anyone's hurt. So I think we can. I think we're good. Give me a moment. Am I live? Am I here? A moment. Okay, here we go. Sort this down. Make it bigger. We don't got a lot. Okay, we don't got a lot of information. You know what I do at this point. But as you can see, this is a rally they held just a little while ago.
Look what happened.
Those are shots. Those are gunshots, ladies and gentlemen. Someone decided to take a gun and try to kill a political opponent, a candidate for the United States of America, a presidential candidate. Someone took a gun, went to a rally filled with people, and took shots at a political candidate for presidency in the United States of America. This is unacceptable. This is not okay. And then there's these cretins online already celebrating or saying things like, oh, I'm sorry he missed. Fuck off. Fuck off with that nonsense. That's not okay. Secret Service jumps in immediately. Okay? They come help him out. Look at him rush his stage. They cover him. They do their job, exactly what they're supposed to do. And they get him to safety. People are screaming. I don't know if anyone's been hurt. I don't know what's going on. This is breaking news. We are covering this. It's horrific. It's horrific. For a lot of reasons. For a lot of reasons. Why are you streaming on a Saturday? That's why I'm streaming on a Saturday, Testicle Johnson. I don't think he was hurt. It doesn't look like he was hurt. And from the stuff coming in that I'm seeing, I don't think they hit him. Thank God they didn't hit him. Thank God. I'm not seeing news about anyone getting hurt. So it looks like they missed. But again, they hit his ear. Is that what people are saying? He was hurt? Shit. Okay, so they actually hit his ear. They shot a former president of the United States of America. Someone shot at and hit a former president of the United States of America. I want you guys to let that sink in for a moment, right? We talk a lot about political polarization. We talk a lot about how we are in a space where we have escalating rhetoric that's leading to people being more divided than they ever have been in a long, long time. Not before. I mean, we had a civil war. There were other periods of great political instability, right? The 60s, etc. But for my lifetime, this is the most divided we have been. And this is a result of said escalation, division, rhetoric by all sides, painting the other sides of monsters, okay? Now, no one's responsible for this. We've had shows on stochastic terrorism before. I don't buy into the concept. I defended the right wing when a lot of people were saying, oh, these white nationalists that do violence, it's a direct result because of Matt Walsh and all these other things. No, it's not direct. There's a lot of degrees of separation. Yes, rhetoric can influence us, but that's not it doesn't bear the same weight of responsibility. At the same time, it's not nothing, gang. It's not nothing. And we have had this situation, right, where we are crying bloody murder that everyone around us is the enemy. What do we think will happen? What did we think will happen? This is the result of that. I don't want to live in a country where it's okay or normalized to take shots at political enemies. I hope they find the guy, they hold him on trial, and he gets what he gets, okay? He gets what he gets. Conspiracy theory, it was a Pence supporter? No shot. I don't even want to speculate on who it was. We have no idea. We have no idea. He's definitely getting elected now. That's another issue, but I feel it's uncouth at this moment to discuss the political ramifications. Maybe that's just me, okay? Maybe that's just me. But I think it's a little uncouth to discuss the political ramifications right now. The Scorn one says, now you can't act like he is an existential threat to the American way of life and then go this hard against those making attempts on him. Yes, I can. I can have rhetoric against someone. Okay, hold on. There's a fundamental difference between throwing words at someone and throwing bullets. There's a fundamental difference. There are lines, gang, and we do not cross them. And anyone who thinks it's okay to take shots at their political opponents, you can get out. Unfollow my channel. Unsubscribe from me, right? I don't want you here. I don't want that kind of person in my audience. I'm a big free speech advocate. I'm a huge free speech advocate, but you're doing so much damage when you advocate for that shit. This is insane. And I don't know if you guys realize just how insane this is. Hold on. I didn't even announce. Look, I went live and I didn't even announce I was going live to everyone. I just announced it in my Discord. Let's see. Does anyone know a good source of actual information? I'm hesitant to use Twitter as a source for information here because, well, it's Twitter. Let's read on CNN. Do you guys like CNN? Or at least here, let me get through this. Let me figure out the best setting here. We're doing it live, gang. We're doing it live. Okay. I think this will give us some good coverage right here. Let's go to the incident reports. So Biden's been made aware, having an initial incident on the briefing from former President Donald Trump's Pennsylvania rally. It happened in my state. I didn't even know he was having a rally here, gang. That's insane. I wonder where it was. Where does anyone know where in Pennsylvania this was? Here, let me move my live stream over to my YouTube live stream so I can read you guys' chats. Okay. To the other side here. Let me give me a moment. Forgive me, please, little Wick friends. Yeah, even Fox probably. Okay, let's look. So Trump is safe, according to the U.S. Secret Service. Former President Donald Trump is safe after an incident at his rally, according to Anthony I'm not going to pronounce his last name, gang. A U.S. Secret Service Chief of Communications. This is what they said. An incident occurred the evening of July 13th at a Trump rally in Pennsylvania. The Secret Service has implemented protective measures, and the former president is safe. This is now an active Secret Service investigation, and further information will be released when available. Fair enough. Praying for President Trump. Allies post messages of support. We got Florida Senator Marco Rubio says this, praying for President Trump and all those attending the rally in Pennsylvania today. Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. Everyone join me in praying for our president, Trump, and everyone at the rally. I hope everyone is okay. North Dakota Government Doug Burgum. Please join Catherine and me in praying for President Trump and his family. Okay, gang, we need to do this as well. I think everyone, right, left, and center, needs to come together, unite over this, and say, we condemn this, and we pray, or if you don't pray, that's fine, right? We hope for the president's safety here. I think everyone needs to do this, right? Not only for moral reasons, gang, practical reasons too. Does anyone disagree with this? Yeah, there were several shots. I don't know how many exactly. ATF agents en route. Do you think? How likely do you think they are going to be to catch this guy? Secret Service around these, security around these events are pretty tight. At least when I've gone to rallies before, they've been pretty tight. I wonder how far away this guy was, right? He only hit his ear, apparently. $5 from Skilltree Gaming. When people call him Hitler every day, I don't want to see people acting surprised when someone from their political side engages in this stuff. We don't even know if it's like, look, it's a good assumption, but this could also be some I hear voices guy who decided that the demons in his head told him to do this. We don't know yet. So speculation is fine, but I just want to be clear that it is speculation. No one knows yet who did this. Speaker Johnson says he's praying for President Trump. Okay, what pool reporters saw and heard. Let's read this. This might be interesting. What pool reporters saw and heard at the rally where Trump was rushed off stage. And this is a press pool, gang. These are the people who were there reporting, etc. People are saying this is 100% a false flag. Again, you guys are speculating. No one knows who did this or why. I don't know. You don't know. Let's go easy on the speculation, gang. No one knows at this point any more than we're just getting it in. This is breaking news. This literally has just happened. We can speculate all we like, but let's try to keep the misinformation to a minimum. We do not know. We do not know. We have no clue what's going on here. I didn't want to go live today. Today's my day off, gang, okay? But I can't not talk about this. I was sitting there, I was tweeting these things out on Twitter. I saw this on Twitter, and I was horrified. I was horrified by what I saw for a lot of reasons. One, the most important one, is political violence is disgusting. It disgusts me. And also, there are, just from a pragmatic standpoint, this was the stupidest move anyone could have ever done, like strategically. Like the odds of Trump being elected now have reached almost 100%. No matter who we find out did this, it's almost 100% now. So if you were trying to get rid of President Trump, you fucking failed, right? So that's another one. The third reason I had to go live is because I had people in my mentions, right, when I was tweeting this out, saying, no, it's good that someone shot at him. I'm just sad that he missed. And I want to fucking fight back against that as much as anything else. Because that is that kind of thought pattern, right? That kind of seeing the other side as this enemy that we have to that we are glad when they get hurt or get attacked is going to destroy our nation. It's literally going to destroy our nation. And the fact that we have, like, LARPers on Twitter celebrating this right now, making jokes about this. Fuck off. Fuck off. No, seriously. Fuck all the way off. And then, once you're done fucking off, okay, I want you to fuck off some more. And once you've fucked off as much as you can fuck off, and you see the sign that says no more fucking off allowed, I want you to ignore that sign. I want you to go past that sign. And I want you to keep fucking off until your legs give out, okay? I want you to fuck off right into the sun. Can we do that, gang? Can we do that? Just go away. You're not helping. You're not making anything better. You're making it worse for everyone. For everyone. Because you know what? You know what? The risk of someone taking a shot at Biden has just rose exponentially as well. I could see the people's wheels a turning right now, the crazies, saying, oh, they shot at our guy? Well, now we need to shoot at their guy, and we need to do it before that they do it. And this is going to, the chances of this escalating have reached really high percentages that I am not comfortable with. And no one should be comfortable with. Because when we open this door, this Pandora's box, what we are doing is we are starting a fire, okay? We are starting a forest fire and hoping we can control the flames. And that's the stupidest fucking shit I've ever heard. That fire, that inferno is going to consume everything. Not just the things you hate, but the things you love. It's all going to burn. And I am trying desperately to keep that from happening. And I don't know if I can. I'm just one guy with what? Like fucking 50 viewers? I don't even know right now. It's not in the normal spot I'm looking at. Okay, 66 viewers right now. I can't stop this, right? I can't stop this. I'm just a little guy, okay? But goddamn, if this is what we have to deal with, right? If all I have to deal with every day is these, look, it's one thing when people were joking about it, right? Before it happened, but it's happened now. It's happened now. Someone did it. They've opened that box. And I don't know if we can close it. This really sucks. No shit. Yes, it really sucks. It really, really sucks. And I hate it. You're shooting into a crowd. You're shooting into a crowd of people. What are you doing? What are you guys saying here? Let's read some chats before I do this. Rick Rock, my President Trump is coming back to Rec Shop and get ready, losers. Are you really trying to make this political right now? Are we doing this? Like we're going to try to get dunk points? Okay, fair. But what are you doing? Come on, let's have some decorum. 18 Frostback says, I feel bad for Wick because I don't think he's the type to be happy, but I'm not afraid to be like, hey, man, stupid words cause stupid actions. The Scored One says, media has basically made it so people think Trump is going to win. The same guy they call a fascist that will become a dictator and even talk about pro-2025 and then get mad when someone does this. So once again, there's a fundamental difference between the other guy's a threat, right, to democracy, saying that, and then someone getting up a gun. There are like levels here, okay? And that's like so far removed. Smith says, it's not even the worst yet because we don't know who the shooter was and if they were a Democrat or a leftist. Yeah, we don't know. Like, we're all speculating. It could be, it could be someone who's mad that Trump wasn't going far right enough, that he backed off from 2025. Project 2025. We don't know. It's all guesses at this point, okay? It's all guesses. No one here knows. It's so bad that they missed is trending on Twitter X. Is that really? If you truly believe that a Trump win will destroy America, I don't know, man. It's all fucked up. Yeah, person A motivates person B. Local DA said the shooter is dead. Where are you getting that? Where are you getting that information? Here, let's refresh here. I'm not seeing anything about the shooter being dead. Can you link that to me, buddy? If you have my Discord, can you send that to me in a DM, please? If that's what you're saying, I'd like a source, if you could. It might be, right? I'm not seeing it on CNN, but in the video, you can hear them say shooter down before Trump got up. Okay. Maybe. So they are saying that the shooter's dead. Okay. Well, that's good that the threat's eliminated. That's good that the threat is eliminated. But yeah, down doesn't necessarily mean dead. They could have neutralized him, shot him, but he survived. But if people are saying, if ABC News is saying he's dead, then okay, I'll trust the news at least. This is the best information we got at this time, so we got to just kind of go with what we got right now, right? Again, sorry. Oh, I don't want my Discord on screen right now. But yeah, we gotta like, oh God, what do we do from this? Where do we go from here? We can't stay silent about not wanting Trump in office. I still think he is someone I don't want to be my president. I have to criticize him and criticize his positions and criticize what he wants to do because I think they're bad. I think they're negative. But I don't want to feed into this pile. I don't want to inspire a fucking shooter. So what do we do from this? Where do we go? Time Watch says, unfortunately, this is kind of a perfect storm for a populist fascist to become president. Two Link says the man has been handed the presidency with this, my dude. Sorry, bro. You're honestly, kinda. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to gain this out in my head. And this is like a gift to the other side, right? It's a gift. Someone gave fucking Trump a gift. So stupid and so reckless and so just disgusting. There's a lot going on here, gang. Determinatus for $5. I think it will only get worse no matter who condemns what. Trump has too much to gain by blaming this on his political enemies as assassins. Yeah, and I can't imagine him doing anything else. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he will be calm. But I know if I got shot at, I would be... I'm not Trump, right? But if I got shot at, man, I'd be angry. I'd be screaming from the rooftops. How dare you shoot at me, right? Now, the proper thing to do is wait for information to come in, figure out who shot at you, then punish those responsible. But let's be real. That's not going to happen. That might happen too, but what will also happen is everyone and their mom is going to have a take on this. They're going to make all sorts of assumptions about this, and that they're going to run with those assumptions, use this as a political weapon against their political enemies, and they're going to bludgeon the other side over the head of this, and it's not going to calm things down. It's not going to make anything better. It's not at all. Pennsylvania Governor Shapiro says he's been briefed on the situation and condemns political violence. And that's what every single Democrat has to do right now. Every single liberal, every single leftist has to do right now is condemn political violence. This is not okay. This is not tolerated. We will do not tolerate this. You do not escalate this. Do not. And if you do, I'm washing my hands of you. You are no longer one of us. And we will excise you. Excise you like the rot and the fucking cancer that you are. So this is what he said specifically. This is Governor Shapiro of Pennsylvania. He says, it has no place in Pennsylvania or the United States. I've been briefed on the situation. The PA State Police are on the scene in Butler County and working with our federal and local partners. Because we have questions still. Was this part of a larger plot? Who was behind this? Was this man funded by anyone? Was this man, again, What were his motivations? How can we figure out his motivations? There's a lot going on right now, a lot of unknowns, and unfortunately, everyone's going to fill in those gaps. Everyone's going to fill in those gaps. I've already seen it on Twitter. People saying this is all the responsibility of my political opponents. They're the ones that are responsible for this. They're the ones normalize this. If you're someone right-leaning and a Trump supporter, you blame leftists. You blame the political violence rhetoric, people joking about Trump dying, all these things. And fair enough. If you're on the left, what you're doing right now is you're saying, look at what you did. The right opened this up when they've engaged in political violence at Charlottesville and these other incidents, right, of political violence and attempts on their enemies. They're the ones that's opened this box. And instead of learning and trying to fix this situation, everyone's using it as a political bludgeon. Everyone's using it as a political bludgeon against their enemies. Again, I want to be clear, no one knows. At least as far as I can tell, no one knows yet who this guy is or girl. Women can be shooters too, okay? Women can be shooters too. It might be a lady. I don't know. And, well, she did miss. So, sorry, jokes. Okay. It's not a violence joke. It's a women joke. And women jokes are okay. Okay. Gang, I have a bit of a gallows humor. Forgive me. So yeah, we don't know who did this. We don't know why they did this. But already, ads are being made. Narratives are being spun. People are using this. It's not going to heal the divide. It's going to make it worse. And people are primed and ready to make it worse. Cognitive Dissonance says, are we sure it wasn't his own supporters shooting guns up in the air? We don't know. No one knows. It looks targeted, right? Someone shot at him. It looks purposeful. But again, we have no idea. Give me a second. You guys want me to bring in callers? Should we bring in callers? Okay, Artemis, what do you got? You're live, sir.
Hey, Wick. How's it going?
Not good.
I get off a plane, and then within 2 hours, somebody tries to kill a former president. It's great. I analyzed the video. Trump was looking to his right across the stage when the gunshots could be heard. And he immediately goes and grabs the top of his ear. And nobody behind him, from the visual of the camera's perspective, seems to have been hit. So it looks like the bullets traveled across the stage and out the other side, which is why nobody seems to be like clutching their chest or something.
Yeah.
So it was definitely...
I want to just stress, gang, this is like very early stuff. We don't know yet. This is just...
I'm just going off of the video.
Yeah, we're guessing.
To be clear, if he had been staring forward, he'd be dead. The fact that his head was turned to the right kept most of his head out of the path of whatever the fuck was flying at him.
That would have been that would have been...
Yeah.
I don't know what would have happened in that case.
Oh yeah. That probably has saved the Democratic Party. Was the fact that
I think it saved America. I'm going to go further with that. Can you imagine? The worst case scenario? Let's game this out. The worst case scenario is someone successfully assassinates Trump, right? Mm-hmm. You know what happens next? People come after Biden.
Not just that.
His supporters.
Probably every Democrat that has been viewed as a traitor to the state.
They get shot at. Not come at lawfully. It would open up a box. And also, to be clear, still might, right? That still might be on the table, but it's less likely because they missed. Thank God.
They didn't. No, they didn't miss. They did graze him. There's a either he got skimmed on his head or his chunk of his ear, because he was bleeding under his shirt when he got up. Some of the photos they're using for the fucking headlines has him with blood on him. Now somebody could say, "Oh no, that was just him hitting the ground and he got cut doing that." But I don't think so.
I have no idea.
Because he grabbed his ear immediately as the shots rang out, meaning that was a pain reflex.
Yeah.
Also, here you want to know something interesting?
1 second, I do got to get a drink. I didn't come prepared for
Okay.
this at all. But to
No,
entertain my
nobody did.
audience, and I'll
Yeah.
bring some people in to entertain with
Yeah.
you. Give me a second.
Yeah. Um,
I'm gonna get
going
a
on
drink.
Parallax.
No slurs. You guys be good.
No
We're
promises.
talking. We're not here to fight. We're here. Well,
I know.
not against each other, but we're here to talk about this, what this means,
Mhm.
where we're gonna go from here, how we're gonna handle
Yeah.
this. I'll be right back.
So
yeah, what I have to say is short and sweet.
yeah.
And it's more for the audience than it is for Wick anyway. So be fucking humans, all of you. Like, seriously, take your fucking autistic political brain bullshit off and be humans. Please and thank you.
Nice. Very, very succinct. Now, you could do the interesting thing and figure out what the news or what their headlines are for this event that just happened. And it's Trump falls down at rally, or Trump is picked up by Secret Service after falling down at rally. Or event has happened at rally. If you look in the news, it's like the media is failing, like objectively. Only CNN has indicated. Yeah, loud noises heard too. Yes, that was another headline. Clapping sounds or whatever. It is one of the worst fucking headlines I have ever seen from what is clearly an assassination attempt. Also the fact that they have spotted a shooter. I mean, you can't really get around the fact that somebody did try to shoot and kill him.
Yeah, I read loud noises heard it and clapping. Loud noises heard.
Yeah.
And clapping noises heard were both things that I heard, and it's I think it's insidious and gross.
Yep.
But Wick's back. I mostly just stuck around to make sure he heard what I had to say, which is be fucking humans. Everyone.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Be humans first, political activists later today, guys. Don't be dickheads.
But I wish people would take your words to heart. I don't know if they will. But thank you for joining us. Oh, is there anything else you want to say, Parallax, or are you done?
Nah, that's all I got for this. Okay. Like, honestly, people need to fuck off.
Okay.
Like, the replies are already fucking disgusting.
They are.
So,
let's go.
Much love. Appreciate you going live to cover it.
Of course.
Yep. Another interesting thing is that you're looking at the reply from the Pennsylvania governor. He's like, political violence is not okay.
Yeah, Mike, what's up?
Hey, give us a second. Political violence is not okay. Well, yes. What else is he supposed to say?
Yeah. Okay. Well, how about the fact is that he's saying that this is somebody who was punched in the face at a political rally instead of like it's actually an assassination attempt of a former president. Like the words aren't really matching up with the scenario happening in front of us.
I don't ding him for that. This is a unfolding situation in a lot of.
Oh, it's probably very novel. Since the last time was 50 years ago.
Yeah, and political actors, right? They tend to be safe, and I think that's a very anodyne statement to make. It's correct, to be clear. People always want to see more emotions and stuff from their politicians, but that carries a lot of political risk as well. So I don't blame him for that. But I'm not a politician, so I get to say whatever's on my mind and however I want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't know if anyone can tell, but I am fucking disgusted at the reactions to this and the act itself. But anyway, carry on.
Yeah. The biggest issue here is that what they should be doing is coming out strongly, like very strongly against, like we will use the full force of the weight of the government against anybody in any group tied to this person, whatever, this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Because what you're risking is that you're going to have the fucking independents swing heavy to Trump because it looks like the Democratic Party's not coming out
I think that's
hard
happening.
enough.
Yeah.
But this would stemmy that a little because it's like he seems to be playing it off as if somebody got hit in the face. Like that's the words that there's a juxtaposition between the event and because the result is if they would have succeeded, all hell would have broke loose.
It still might.
Yeah, well, I don't think so yet because Trump could come out and say, "Hold on, let's do the that's the issue."
So
go ahead.
So the only way that this could ever be like the dream case scenario for any Democrat is if the shooter had like a manifesto saying that he was a Nick Fuentes follower and he didn't believe Trump supported America enough. and something racialism. That's the only way that this is ever going to be positive. This is a massive gift to Donald Trump. Whoever did shoot him, I agree with it, Wick. He probably did give it to the election of Trump.
Yeah.
He probably did. Like, Reagan shot up huge after he survived his assassination attempt. Like,
because we as Americans don't like it when you try to kill our elected officials or our candidates to be elected officials, and thank God we don't. Right? That is a understandable, a reasonable, and even a good reaction to try to support those who are victims of an attack. And let's be clear, Trump today is a victim of an attack, and he does deserve our sympathy and empathy, regardless of what you think about his politics or him as a person. Again, I don't want him elected. I'm trying to make sure he does not get elected. But there are lines, gang, and we don't fucking shoot at political candidates. Okay, sorry. Go on.
Also, not only that, let me just get this out of the way, just. So not only that, but the fucking political acumen that Donald Trump has, as he's getting shot, he drops to the ground, but before the Secret Service could pull him away, he goes, hold up. You can hear him say it into the mic. And he goes, and he raises his fist up and yells, they can't stop us, or whatever. Like, you see that image I showed you, right? In your DM?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
an ad
gonna
now.
be
It's an ad. Of course it is. Of course it is.
That he literally pulled a bull moose. Like,
no.
that's gonna kill practically everything right there. That is going to be shown on every fucking headline on the Republican side from now until the end of November.
Not just the Republic. This is going to be on every news site. This is going to be in every paper. Every blogger is going to talk about this. Every streamer is going to talk about this. Everyone's going to be talking about this. And unfortunately for us, there's a lot of leftists and like left-leaning streamers who are going to try to celebrate this as like, oh, I can just see it now. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I can see Vosh going live soon saying, oh, we need to train our people to shoot better, right? Like, I can, I really hope I'm wrong. Don't hold me to this. It's just, I'm portraying, I'm gaming out in my head the worst case scenarios. And that is one of the worst case scenarios.
This is the second worst.
Huh?
This is the second worst case scenario.
Yeah.
The worst case scenario was
sure. Oh no, the worst case is like we had descended to chaos and violence, and that would have been it. But I'm talking about like reasonable.
Like case. You would have seen if that guy didn't get apprehended and shot or whatever by the Secret Service or whoever, that person would have been beaten to death by the crowd.
Well, yes.
As in the first public immediate lynching caught on camera.
Here's some stuff from Schumer. Some Majority Leader Chuck Schumer issued a statement after the incident at former President Trump's rally saying, I am horrified by what happened at the Trump rally in Pennsylvania and relieved that the former President Trump is safe. Political violence has no place in our country. I think that's a good statement.
That's a good statement. Yeah, that was a perfect one. The Governor Shapiro wrong. Schumer's correct. That was the good tone for that. Okay. Horrified is the correct statement to make because it is so far above and beyond what you're.
Biden needs to come out with a statement immediately, like 10 minutes ago.
What time is it?
And it needs to be
It's past 6.
No, Biden needs to come out with a statement like 10 minutes ago, like condemning it and saying stuff like my supporters will never engage in this, and if they do, they're not my supporters.
Something.
The issue is it's past 6 p.m.
Well, let's keep reading because there's more statements, gang.
Yeah, the dementia's kind of caught up with him at this point.
Hold on, even if you think that's true, you do know that his staff will write a statement, right? Like so.
Yeah. They do it on the Twitter all the time.
Well, I think Trump is people. Let's not turn this. We'll fight about that later. Okay. RFK Jr. calls for unity in wake of Trump incident. The independent presidential candidate, RFK Jr., is calling for unity in the wake of former President Donald Trump being rushed off stage by Secret Service at Pennsylvania campaign rally. Now is the time for every American who loves our country to step back from the division, renounce all violence, and unite in prayer for President Trump and his family, he said in a post on X. That's also a good statement. That's true. That's what we need to do. We need to stop using this as a political weapon and start saying this is not okay. We do not do this, right, left, or center, whether you're an independent, whether you're a Democrat, whether you're a socialist, whether you're a Republican, whether you're America Firster. Doesn't matter. We don't do this. That's
one person in the crowd is confirmed dead besides the shooter. So somebody was hit.
Do
I'm
we know
assuming
if it was like multiple shooters or if it was someone in the crowd?
it only sounds like one shooter. You would
Okay.
hear the rate of fire seems like a semi-automatic handgun.
Okay.
That's why it missed. Is because the first shot was close, and then the other two shots missed entirely. Is because of the recoil of the handgun at such a distance would have caused him to not have any good aim.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
but
he used
yeah,
a
that's
handgun?
someone died, and it wasn't like just probably I don't know who died, right? But it was probably just someone out there at a rally, right? Wanted to come to a rally to support their political opponent or the
man's gonna be
political
lionized.
person, right?
Whoever that died is going to be laid at the feet of the Democrats.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, that's just what's going to happen. Trump
Yeah.
is going to put that out there. That name is going to be in every rally from now on.
Yeah.
No, you're not wrong.
Like all of this entire fucking this entire election cycle has just been a fuck up after fuck up on the people's side who
So
want to
there's one
protect
also who's
democracy.
seriously injured as well. One
It
died.
might be
was in
a
serious
kid.
condition.
I don't know. Somebody's just theorizing. Okay.
No, that's
somebody said it might be a kid. Who knows? And
Oh
was
no,
like,
I have no idea. I have
yeah. I was like, no, it's just he's just theorizing. He's not saying it was a kid.
Okay.
Oh my god.
House
If
Democrat
it was a
leader.
kid, oh my god,
Yeah,
that would be the worst.
House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries calls political violence never acceptable and says he is praying for Trump. He says, this is his quote, "My thoughts and prayers are with former President Trump. I am thankful for the decisive law enforcement response. America is a democracy. Political violence of any kind is never acceptable." Correct response.
It's passable, yeah. The issue was, again, the gravity of the situation is if they had succeeded, the fucking country would have been torn apart. I think that the Democrats are losing a little bit of that understanding. Yeah. But I understand it's because it's at the spur of a moment. Holy shit! What do we say? Who the fuck did it? You know, that type of thing.
Yeah,
also,
no one. Again, I want to be clear to those who are watching, those who are listening. We don't know who did this yet. We don't know why they did it. We don't know what motivations they had. The facts of the matter so far that we know is someone shot several times at former President Trump at a rally. One crowd member was killed. One crowd member is in serious condition. Trump probably is injured, but we don't know for sure, or at least I don't know for sure. And the shooter is confirmed dead. That is what we know.
Yep, and you can also almost guarantee that the shooter is probably known to the FBI.
I have no idea.
They almost always are. That I don't know why, but the FBI never seems to act beforehand.
Well, so it is difficult to arrest someone for, pre-crime.
Yeah, but they always seem to be fucking
Mr.
shooters.
Wise Guy plays for $5. This is probably why Destiny said that he left the progressive left about a month ago. I mean, I doubt he predicted this.
I can tell you what, guys. I watched the Destiny stream recently, right after a certain Supreme Court decision about immunity, where people were theorizing how to assassinate the fucking former president before he could take office.
That's true. Biden could assassinate Donald Trump and get away with it under the Supreme Court.
Did I miss any? I don't want to miss any super chats.
Think so.
I don't think I did.
I'll scroll up for you.
Yeah, no. I have a fan funding button. I can look and. If you guys want to throw some super chats at me, it'd be appreciated. But right now, the focus is on giving you what's happening on the ground. So international support for Trump is pouring in. Here are some of the international leaders who've expressed support. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Sarah and I were shocked by the apparent attack on President Trump. We pray for his safety and speedy. That's what it says. I'm quoting it. That's what it says on CNN. It sounds like they left out a word. Don't blame me. Honduran President Xiomara Castro de Zelia says, violence generates more violence. I am sorry for what is happening in the United States electoral process. My solidarity with real Donald Trump. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban. My thoughts and prayers are with President real Donald Trump in these dark hours. So we are getting a lot of international people.
This is asking Israel before Biden. Yes, we all know why. You don't. It's irrelevant at this point. Like, but everybody understands why Biden isn't out making a statement. It's because he can't.
Again, no, there are tons of reasons why he might not want to respond super right away. One of them is being like, "Oh shit, what do we say?" I think that is a
no. He could come out and put out,
okay, if
"Hey,
if he's sleeping, right, or if he's dementia, then his staff would have already put something out.
No. Hold on. The big thing is, right, is that they could easily say, "We're going to have a press conference at this time. Look for our official statement." Blah blah blah.
They might be setting that up.
Yeah, I'm just saying is like the fact is that you have several other people already way the fuck ahead of them, but just putting out saying, "Hey,
they made tweets."
Well, I understand, but they reacted quickly. That's the issue, is that the person who should have the most knowledge of what's going on in the United States should be the president.
Says if Biden reacts too quickly, it will look prearranged. I don't.
No.
Let's be clear. There's a certain segment who will say, no matter what the evidence is, that my political opponents planned this. They knew all along this was a conspiracy of the highest order. But we don't take those people seriously. Let's be clear.
No. The biggest issue is that all this does is scare the Democrats a little, but not because they're worried about political violence, but because they're going to lose the fucking election from this. The people that would be affected by this would be the undecideds and the independents. Those are the people that would be shifted left or right on this.
No, I mean, like, look, my political positions aren't changing here, but my political positions have always been political violence is ineffective, it's wrong morally, and it leads to worse outcomes just across the board.
But I'm not really referring to you when I'm saying that. I'm talking about the certain people we've seen on live streams talking about political violence, and that it should be okay to do this one time.
Okay. Elon Musk has endorsed Trump following Butler incident.
Yep.
I fully endorse. This is Elon Musk, to be clear. He's tweeting. I fully endorse President Trump and hope for his rapid recovery. Nikki Haley says this. This should horrify every freedom-loving American. Violence against presidential candidates must never be normalized. We are lifting up Donald Trump, an entire Trump family, and all in attendance in prayer. $5 more from Mr. Wise Guy Plays. I appreciate you covering this, Wick. You are at this time one of the first to cover this. Not even Tim Pool said anything about this. Take my money. I will take your money, sir. Thank you for the $5. This is, to be clear, my day off, and that is the least important thing about all of this, right? But it is not unimportant.
Yeah, I just got back from the Middle East today.
Yeah,
so
welcome back. One of my first guests.
Yeah.
God. What do you think that I'm not talking politicians here. I'm not talking any Democrats or Republican leadership or anything like that. I'm talking people on the ground. Let's talk streamers. What do you think should, regardless of whether you think will be the response from streamers on the left and the right, what do you think should be the tack here that's taken by streamers and stuff?
Roundly condemning and banning anyone in your audience who says this is good. That's what they should do. What they're actually going to do is people like Hassan are going to jerk themselves off Raw, and people like Rob are going to jerk themselves off Raw supporting Trump. So, like, you can already like predict their NPC scripts based off of who they were before this happened.
I'm going to go with what they should do is start backtracking on the rhetoric that they've been using, and saying that, hey, hold on, calm down. The big issues like Destiny and his circle of friends, like Pisco, all of them, they need to stop using the rhetoric of existential threat to democracy and he's going to SEAL Team 6 everybody. When obviously this was the only result that some person felt that they had to do something to save democracy. Because all I can say is that this will probably inspire more people to do it.
Stochastic terrorism shtick works both ways, unfortunately. It's something where I think that people overblow the concept of stochastic terrorism. We had a panel on this last year, in fact, where everyone on the left was saying that the right was leading to more violence in America because of their rhetoric. I stood up and I defended you guys and said you're not responsible for what crazy right people do. And in the same vein, I don't hold Destiny or these people directly responsible for anything this crazy person did. Who, again, we don't know if it's left or right yet. Let's be clear.
Hold on. The issue being is that some small podcasters shouldn't be accused of being stochastic terrorists, sure. But the entire media establishment has said that this person is a threat to democracy and the way of life of the American people, and that he was going to SEAL Team 6 everybody. That's not just a couple small podcasters. The entire establishment media is pushing that he needs to be, like, that's the inevitable conclusion, that he needs to be dealt with. That's different.
Disagree.
Disagree
Donald
with
Trump
what?
has earned the establishment media has claimed that he's a threat to democracy, or I'm sorry, framed Donald Trump as a threat to democracy. Donald Trump has framed himself as a threat to democracy.
Okay.
Let's just be clear about that.
My issue with that my issue with that statement
I want to be clear that no one here is advocating, and we are all, at least I assume the new people are as well, roundly condemning, are horrified about the events of today. This is not okay. We do not engage in this kind of shit, and anyone who's trying to do that shit or celebrating that shit needs to get the fuck out. I'm not going to ban you because, again, you can say your piece. We are First Amendment thing. We allow free speech in this zone, but I don't like you personally as a person, so you should probably leave. But anyway.
Yeah. The biggest issue I have with the threat to democracy narrative is that you would have to explain why 53% of the population, even knowing that information, is still wanting to vote for Trump on this one, as he's been leading in the polls the entire time. Meaning that you would have to accept that they want somebody to destroy democracy and vote for him, or they just don't believe the narrative. You can't have it. You can't have it either other way. Okay.
Like this isn't fucking new for America. Let's be clear. Like, America's.
When is the last time someone shot at a presidential candidate?
Oh God, like
Reagan.
Like, but actually, yeah, like you've had like assassination attempts over the last 200 years, quite frequently. I mean, like this isn't to dismiss anything, by the way. Like, this is obviously really bad. I'm trying to kind of, I guess, bring down the fucking heat of the current conversation, because again, it's really easy to point to kind of the rhetoric that we've currently seen of Trump's going to, I don't know, build prison camps for LGBT people. But let's remember, like, we've had conversations in the US on the upcoming civil war out of right-wing provocateurs since like 2016 at the earliest. So this isn't new rhetoric. And also from the idea of, like, you know, people doing crazy things, it's not new there for America either. So it's one of those things. I know, like Wick said at the beginning, like, it opens the door to like potential threats to Biden. I think there's actually probably some truth to that. It's really hard to tell. The question is, like, yeah, why? I mean, we can all theory craft about a million fucking reasons, but let's be honest. Tensions in this are very high, and let's just theory crafting. From one side, if you've got people who are worried that Trump's not going to be extreme enough, or maybe that Trump isn't going to get elected, or the media are going to sabotage him, because CNN's just come out with an article, and not the best source, because I saw Keemstar post it, but was Trump, like, Secret Service grabs Trump when he falls over at rally. And then you've got people on the other side who've just watched the presidential debate and are terrified that Biden's going to lose. So there are tensions on both sides from that.
Before you carry on, I want to point out that the right does not believe that Biden is capable of beating Trump, so they would have no reason to kill him, because he almost guarantees that the left is going to lose.
No, hold on. That's not true. Hold on, and this is why.
Incorrect.
And especially after this incident, there's going to be some nutter, right?
Okay,
like, they shot at our guy, now we're going to shoot at their guy. And that's why that's one of the reasons this is incredibly dangerous, incredibly irresponsible, incredibly just, aside from the morality of it, which is horrific, to be clear, it's a horrific thing to engage in, but just from a pragmatic standpoint, it's just, you have lit a fire that you are not going to be able to control.
To be fair, yes, the fact that go ahead, sorry.
I just hope nobody's in here or anywhere, anywhere, that's probably going to happen more likely than not, about how this assassination attempt is we're just going to talk about it in terms of, like, how is this going to hurt Biden, or how is this going to help Trump? Like, that should not be the topic, period. That the topic is just fuck assassination attempts. Don't ever try to advocate for assassinating political rivals, whether it be a president or any level of political personnel, and also just people in general. So just thinking about this in terms, and even talking about it, like, well, how's this going to help Trump, or how's this going to help Biden? Like, I think we should probably not talk about it like that under
Well, I
any
mean,
circumstance.
that's kind of the fucking topic, isn't it? It's kind of the problem, because this is so heated anyway and has been for so long. To be like, oh well, we can have a kind of philosophical conversation about how like assassinations are bad, but like we know that, like that's a rational position to take, that political violence has bad outcomes. Arjun, I don't know how necessary that is, and at the moment when we're watching everything unfold, the question like everyone is asking is like, yeah, what are the impacts of this? What are the risks? Not, hey guys, another conversation about like why terrorism is a problem, because we know that, right? Is anybody actually seriously looking at this and going, well, glad that happened, because I
There's
can't see
people
that
on my
anywhere.
Twitter right now. What is it? I
Yeah,
won't say their
crazies.
names, but I'll read some out. So
Oh,
killing
God.
Hitler would be wrong. This is the kind of responses I'm getting, right, from certain quarters.
Yeah.
It's horrific. This is horrific. And so I want to be clear. Like, a lot of people complain that I punch left too much. This is why I do it. Because you have people that take an incident like this and then celebrate it, hope that there's more. And these people are a cancer, and they need to be excised from any political party, but especially a political party that I'm adjacent to. And so, yes,
Boy.
I will absolutely continue to punch left against anyone who is saying, hey, I wish you would do it more. And unfortunately, Origin isn't entirely wrong that we actually have to have these conversations, right?
Here's
There are people who just will celebrate this, and I'm legitimately afraid for what comes next.
But here's my biggest issue with this, right? Because I know that people haven't started streaming yet, but my biggest concern is they're gonna state political violence is not okay, but I can understand the reason why they did it. That's my biggest concern.
Because about this, sorry.
No, you can. But that was basically it. Is that people are gonna go, I understand the motivations behind it, and then that's going to fuck everything. Because there's no real coming back from that once you understand your outward saying, I understand why they did it, meaning if there was good reasons for why they did it, it's going to be fucked. That the entire conversation is going to get more and more toxic after that.
And talking about this assassination attempt, of course, is obviously something we should talk about, but we should talk about it in terms of like the ethics of it and how
Origin,
and why this should not be.
Origin, I'm going to talk about it however I like. I'm going to be real with you.
Well, I can understand he said he's going to talk about it however he likes because it's a stream. I can understand what you're getting at, Origin, but the issue is that people like if this is a shooter from the side that doesn't like Trump, it needs to be talked about to discourage people from doing stuff because you're just handing a victory away.
$10.
I'm saying you should talk about the ethics of it, not necessarily about
as
like
well. $10 from Joseph Galareu. Peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah be upon you all. Please learn about the messenger of Allah and read Quran. Thank you for this conversation. Well, thank you for the $10. But I'm good on the Quran stuff. Mr. Wise Guy plays for $5. I think Origin is correct. I think the only people that are dumb enough to try to delete anyone at a rally are not having any deep thoughts. However, there are people who would normalize political violence that are having deep thoughts. And so I mean there just are, and we've seen them before. We've seen them publicly advocate for violence before, and they will do so again. And I think it's only right and correct to call them out on it. Now, when it comes to Origin, when talk about the morality and ethics of it, absolutely we should do that. But I don't think it's wrong to also talk about the political ramifications of it, because there are going to be political ramifications of it, and political things and morality are not as disconnected as I think you'd like to believe.
Yeah, the greed and self-interest.
If I could finish this real quick, I just wanted to make a distinction here. Mm-hmm. You could probably talk about the political ramifications as long as you're not talking about it solely from the perspective of like, okay, how is this going to help Trump, and we need to stop it from helping Trump, or we need to how is this going to negatively affect Biden, as if it's all a post talk, like we're going to make this about our biases. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
No.
Sure.
I mean, yes.
I can understand. I can understand that. I don't think Wick is going to try that at all, because that's not what his main concern is. He's not looking at PR
what I will
I'm saying for everybody.
what I do
not
think,
just Wick.
here's my sure, but here's my major concern with this, right? Well, after I found out that my first and number one is that people died. There's at least one death. One person's in critical condition, right? People who were just at a rally. They tried to kill Trump, but they killed people, some other person I don't think they were targeting. So that's my number one concern with this, is people died. My second concern is the radicalization. And again, we don't know why he did this. I want to be clear. We don't know who did this. We don't know their political affiliation. We don't know their motivations. It could be someone on the left. It could be someone, a Fuentes type. It could be just a crazy person. We don't know. But what I see from the responses to this across the political spectrum right now leads me to say, and I say this with confidence, that we are far too radicalized as a nation, and we need to get rid of that somehow. I don't know how. I don't know the steps to do that, but we have become a nation that is very far apart, and I know we've been further apart before, Civil War during the 60s, but at least in my lifetime, this is the most radicalized I've ever seen the nation.
I did, well, not that is directly
Sure.
Connected to this event. I did warn you that the rhetoric that was being utilized, to the extent that it was, that it would only have a logical conclusion, which is this.
I mean, again, like, okay, so out of like England versus America, you know, we've had more political assassinations in the last like 10 years than you guys have, right?
Maybe assassinations, but the attempts, no. We've had, like, what is it, the baseball team for the Republicans was shot at by a left-wing progressive that almost killed them all.
Yeah, but we're a tiny country. I mean, what I'm getting at here is we're a tiny country, and we've had assassinations on both sides of the political spectrum. So I think there's a risk there of looking at, well, listen to the online rhetoric and things. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty fucking heated, but it's heated from like general media as well. It's not just crazed ideologues either. The fact that like people are looking at mainstream media in America and going, oh, well, you know, you can't trust Fox, you can't trust CNN. I mean, they're right. But like those impacts are going to be far more wide reaching. And even on the day to day, I mean, how many people have stories about a family member who's got taken in by QAnon or MAGA? Or on the other side, like somebody that, you know, like, oh, you know, my nephew went off to university and they came back of like full on Marxist. Yeah. So I think there's also like a wider problem there. It's not just leading to violence. You know, I think there's a question there of what America's future looks like when, you know, there's such a disparate view on, you know, what it is to be American and what the values of the country are.
Do you remember a headline that says "fiery but peaceful"?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so when you see stuff like that, what does that indicate to you?
Well, I mean, like it indicates a large media bias, right?
Okay.
But I mean, that's kind of the reality, and this is what happened with like going back to Rittenhouse, right? The media like painted a picture that was so divorced from the reality of the situation that people were really surprised when he got found not guilty.
Right. So when we're talking about an entire entity hell-bent on distorting reality against one side.
Hold on. I take objection to the idea that it's one-sided. Have you read some Trump or some Fox News or some Sky News headlines about Biden and the Democrats trying to destroy your... Have you seen the libs of TikTok takes and stuff like that? If we're going to talk about demonization of the other side, your side ain't free of blood on their hands, brother.
To be clear, I've only ever voted for Obama.
again, however, you're representing a specific side here, and I just want to make sure.
Okay, I just wanted to point that out that I had not
No.
voted since I voted in
Fair
2012.
enough. But I just want to make sure that everyone knows that it's not just one-sided. Like, and this
Well,
is a problem. Hold on, because this is another problem. And this happens
Mhm.
on my side as well. We do this all the time, and I hate when we do that, right? That we assume that we are this pure, clear, entirely good, free from sin. We haven't done anything that needs to be discussed. We should never really question our side. We're the good guys, they're the bad guys. And I see this on both sides, and that is one of the things that is driving further and further radicalization. We're good, they're
Mhm.
bad. Look at all the bad things they've done. Our things are justifiable. Our things are okay. Our things make sense and we can understand them. They are just out to get us and kill us. They want us hunted down like dogs in the streets. They want us round us up and throw in to the trans camps and stuff, right? Like they want to trans our children, right? All this like crazy shit that we have decided that is we shouldn't push back against, because if we push back against, we're punching right or we're punching left, and we should never punch against our own side. And I think that rhetoric of never holding your own side to account is one of the reasons that has led us to this place. $5 from another new account. Firing, but mostly peaceful rounds. Thank you for the $5.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna piggyback off of that.
Please.
Wick, some of the rhetoric that's been used by the right has been absolutely absurd, and some of the rhetoric used by the left has been absolutely absurd. But the problem is, right, the right doesn't care. They just don't. They don't have any values that I can
Hold
detect,
on.
actually. Right now.
No, that's also not
Yeah.
true. I know people who are on the right who absolutely do care, who absolutely will condemn the
Honor.
crazy rhetoric on their side. In fact, we just had one on the show last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. Joe Walsh was a Trumper, right? He was a MAGA guy. He was super far on the right, but he's still on the right, but he's condemned the things that he's seen as wrong on the right. There are plenty of Republicans who do. So let's not do that thing that I just complained about, where we paint our side as good and their side as bad. Can we not?
Oh no, but the problem is, right, is we'll take stuff like criticisms over January 6th, was it the Ukrainian quid pro quo, like stuff that is like legitimate criticisms of Donald Trump, and it gets all hand waved away as TDS, or you're engaging in dangerous rhetoric to accuse a president of subverting the Constitution, which he did do. But yeah, it's like we've the conservatives have forced us into this kind of like pigeonhole where anything we say is TDS, and anything they say is just justified criticism of Biden or the deep state or whomever.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the understanding that a persuasive argument needs to be persuasive, and if it took you guys for almost 4 years to beat down the drum of Trump is Hitler and it didn't work out, and that you're saying he tried to overthrow democracy, and people aren't buying it, you should probably dump.
I don't want to believe it.
You did well. Yet the not vast majority, but more than 50% of the population either doesn't care and wants it, or is not persuaded by it. Like either you're gonna have to work with that reality, and you keep trying to beat the drum that nobody gives a shit about. And this is
exactly. They don't care about the Constitution or the Republic. I agree. Thank you.
I tried. I've tried. You're just too far into it. But go ahead, Wick.
I'm too far into what, reality? I'm sorry, but it's true.
What
have I said that's objectively a lie?
Hold on, if I may. There has to be a way to indicate that we do think that Trump is a danger to democracy, and that he does present a danger to the Constitution, and I think he does, in a way that doesn't escalate to, and he should be taken out by any means necessary. Because I think that is the root of it, because that idea that any means necessary and everything's okay is something that is deep set, embedded into certain portions of our society's psyche on the right and the left. That that we can in order to defend whatever, we can do anything because we're defending what's right. And that's not a right problem. That's not a left problem. It's just a problem. Do we agree on this?
I agree.
Okay.
The difference is that Democrats, for the most part, mainstream Democrats, support and respect the rule of law. Like, I'm sorry, did you want to say something?
Yeah, mainstream Democrats are one of the largest insider traders ever.
That's legal. So first of all, go fuck yourself.
That's not legal.
Yes, it
Insider
is.
trading is not legal. It's explicitly illegal.
No, it isn't. Members of Congress can trade stocks based off their information. That's legal. That's not. That's not even like related to this argument. That's like you just said something. I don't like this because it's morally bad, or I think it's morally bad.
No, you did. Now you're just talking out of your ass. Insider trading is literally illegal. It doesn't matter if you're a fucking politician or not.
Oh my fucking god! Members of Congress, right, may trade stocks based off their congressional knowledge. This is legal. This is not illegal. This is true. This is not even like an argument. It's a matter of fact.
Show me where there are exemptions for fucking
$5 from Mr. Wise Guy Play says saying Trump is a threat to democracy without saying how he is a threat makes it sound like you've Trump derangement syndrome. Explain Trump's threat to democracy. Please, I will allow.
He tried to overturn the election.
Yeah, that's number one, January 6th. That incident, that's pretty threatening to democracy to me. What else?
He spent the entire, from, I would say, July of 2020 to January 6th, denying, just basically asserting without any proof there was going to be voter fraud, enough to shape the election. He called up a Secretary of State in Georgia saying, get me 20,000 votes. It
wasn't 20,000, but fair.
Or 16,000, something like that, enough to sway the election.
11,738.
So you didn't listen to the call, gotcha.
So, I'm sorry. I don't remember a call that happened 4 years ago about a man who tried to overturn the election.
Here's the big thing for me when it comes to Trump, and this is why I don't like him as a candidate, not above and beyond his policies, which I don't support largely, right? My issue with Trump is how he normalizes making the other side into a threat that needs to be combated. And he does this with his rhetoric, with lock her up, or if you remember that in 2016, right? His pledge to be a dictator from day one or on day one, and these other such statements that he makes that you could pass it off as he's just being a blowhard, he's just being hyperbolic. But again, coupled with his lack of actions on January 6th, I'm not willing to roll the dice on whether he's joking or not.
Hey, to be clear, after the lock her up thing, what did Trump do after he was elected?
Not a whole lot.
Did he lock her up? No, he said that we move on.
But that's the same reason like Biden, right?
Hang on, whoa,
be a king or a
actually,
dictator and just do whatever his policy prescriptions are. And so a lot of leftists complain, well, why should we vote for Biden if he's not going to just pass this through and just do it, right? We don't know if Trump had the ability to, right? Just prosecute his political enemies. I think that, and I hate to say this, but Mitch McConnell, of all people, reined Trump in a lot of ways. If Mitch McConnell wasn't there or he had a yes man in, I think that it would have been...
William Barr.
Okay, but you're falling to, like, again, that's the same sort of, like, rhetoric that's heated things up, right? I mean, the truth is, it's not just America that's, like, become more politically volatile in the last 2 decades. That's been true of
our man 916. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but $5 says just tuned into Hassan long enough to hear. Of course, the Democrats are going to say this in response to political violence is never okay. So to be clear, from your super chat, he's saying that are you saying that Hassan is mocking the idea of Democrats condemning political violence? Is that what you're saying? I just want to be very clear.
Those donuts in.
From what it sounds like, it's a boilerplate statement that he's just expecting it.
I need more clarification.
Yeah. I would need
another $5 from another new account. Respect the rule of law? ? Earlier this month, New York Times articles for Trump to be Drone struck by Max Kennedy. Harry Sisson take out as Supreme Court. I could go on. And here's the thing,
What?
another new account.
I've-
I've condemned every
Oh.
single one of those statements. It's not good when they say that kind of shit. It's bad, in fact. But anyway.
Oh, I want to
Beckett
hear
was,
what.
Beckett was
Oh,
going.
yeah.
I want him to finish. Yeah.
So I think we've become like politically much more radical all over, like whether you're talking about like the stuff that's said in France, that the far right was pushing
Hold
there
on.
to try and
Joe
get
Biden
elected.
has released a statement. Can anyone link me
Oh,
that
good.
statement?
Yeah, give me a second.
If it's coherent, it's probably an aid.
Is that where is it released?
It will probably be on Twitter, the very top of the list.
Not on his Twitter. It's not on the President Biden Twitter.
Oh my Lord Jesus!
Well, he might not have used Twitter to do it.
Okay, there's still only 2 dead, including the shooter. So.
Okay. Hold on. Let's find this, and then I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you, Beckett. I apologize.
No, you're fine. It's a lot coming in at once, man. It's all good. But yeah,
once I find it, we'll interrupt and read it. But as we go, continue. So please, link
it's much
it if
more.
you got it, please.
It's much more volatile now. Anyway, I don't think that's unique to Trump. I think Trump just does it in a very American way. But you can discuss like all the things that have previously happened during Trump's presidency. People are going to lay stuff at the feet of presidents all the fucking time. But people have done this with Obama. They've done it with Bush. They've done it with, like, in the UK with people like Blair. So I don't think it's unique to that. I think the real question, like, is this part of your new normal, or is this just a one-off? Because if it's just a one-off, then Trump gets a martyr boost. But ultimately, you've still got like the general rule of law. America's still one of the safest
I gotta
countries
stop
to live in the world.
checking Twitter. All the worst people I know are being like, "It's good. Oh, it's terrible that he missed," and shit like that.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing a ton of that right now. That's fucking crazy. It looks like the counter sniper team hit the guy right after he started shooting.
Good.
So,
Good.
Yeah. I guess that really is why it stopped. Why there was only 3 shots, because the counter sniper team immediately got to him. But Jesus.
Okay, here's my question then.
Oh, I see. They have a video of the guy on the roof, so I'll send it to you.
Please.
Do you think that this will step up? Let's say it is a left-wing person. Do you think that will step up the rhetoric from the Democrats to start trying to?
I hope it
down on
does.
extremist left-wing
I hope
voices?
it does. I don't know if it will, but I hope it does. I hope it causes people like AOC, like the people that they at least somewhat respect. Because let's be clear, if I say it, they don't care what I say. They've already considered me an enemy, right? But if like AOC or maybe Vosh or Hassan would say something like that, I think it would go a lot longer of a way than it would if I said it. But I will still say it, to be clear. But do they? I don't know if they do.
I think I think it's a good chance for you, Wick, to reach out to Brianna and see what her pack is thinking at the moment.
I mean,
that should be an interesting episode of TYT.
I don't know. I didn't even think to DM. Why would I DM Brianna about this?
Because she's going to have a.
I didn't DM anyone about this. Oh no, I did DM one person about this.
Yeah,
but that's.
But I'm saying is that if you want to figure out what the higher up politicians are thinking behind the scenes, she's probably going to have some type of connection to figure that out, and maybe they have a idea of how to talk to the public about calming things down. Maybe that'd be good to hear.
I'm not worried about the. Well, I am worried about the public, so that's a lie.
Yeah.
I think that though they can handle that. What I'm worried about, and I think what Beckett was alluding to, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, is that this is going to remain a problem. Does that make sense? Like this kind of this way of thinking that has infected portions of the left is going to remain a problem, right? Because again, right now we have people on my Twitter saying the horrific things, and a lot of them I know are leftists. Like there's a lot of them who I've argued with. They're socialists or communists, right? And I've argued with them before on various topics, and even on the political violence topics. Brianna Wu just DM'd me apparently, and said, "You can tell your panel I'm going into an emergency meeting right now."
Yep,
So they're
I
going to be
assumed that was
talking
going to
about
happen.
this.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
Because
Can someone?
they would be
Someone
negligent.
linked me the Biden statement. So let me read that.
Okay.
Here we go. I have been briefed on the shooting, and this was done 7:58 p.m. Eastern. I have been briefed on the shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania. I am grateful to hear he's safe and doing well. I'm praying for him and his family and for all those who were at the rally as we await further information. Jill and I are grateful to the Secret Service for getting him to safety. There's no place for this kind of violence in America. We must unite as one nation to condemn it. And then right underneath we have End Wokeness saying, "You incited this by saying that Trump and his supporters would end democracy. You have blood on your hands. Resign in disgrace." So, like I said, people are using this as a political bludgeon in order to push their little political hobby horses. $5 from Mr. Wise Guy. I don't think Wick has Trump derangement system, and I can sort of see how you think he's a threat, but I agree with Artemis. Thank you for the $5, and I'm glad you don't.
Okay, so I linked you Willie Mack quote tweeting. Apparently, Hassan describes Trump getting back up as clip farming.
Oh my god! Leave it to Hassan to have like the lowest IQ take imaginable.
To be clear, he's
Like, he was
reversed Nostradamus.
Hassan was built in a government lab to be the biggest political lol cow ever.
He did say that Russia was not going to invade Ukraine on the same day that they started. So I mean, I'm just saying it's not like this is not like out of the ordinary for him.
Oh come on, he cried when they erased his dog off the Reddit pixel thing. Well, at the same, I think it was like the same month that he was like, "Oh yeah, 9/11, no America deserved 9/11 or some shit."
So to go back to the end wokeness thing underneath the response from Biden's team, unfortunately, the cold calculus of the situation is they're going to have to use this. Like every if for example,
they don't have to.
No, the cold logic is that they're going to have to if they want to stop.
They're going to be clear, but they're not. They don't have to.
So here's the issue. You got two sides thinking the other side is going to destroy America. Correct?
Hmm?
Yeah.
One says it and one is actually going to.
Well, we don't need to. Okay. So for the purpose of this discussion, and do you guys want me to read the Barack Obama tweet as well? Let's read that,
absolutely.
and then I want to properly delineate this. So here's what Barack Obama says: "There is absolutely no place for political violence in our democracy. Although we don't know yet exactly what happened, we should all be relieved that former President Trump wasn't seriously hurt and use this moment to recommit ourselves to civility and respect in our politics. Michelle and I are wishing him a quick recovery."
That sounds like something he would write. I could hear it in his voice.
$5 more from Mr. Wise Guy Plays. Trump has more evidence of him not using precise words. For January 6th, to his credit, Trump tried to get more security, but was redacted before January 6th. Crypt for $5 says everything becoming a meme instantly on social media makes it hard to take anything seriously anymore, no matter the magnitude of the event. Depressing. There is truth in that as well, right? This the memification, the clickification of information, right?
Yeah.
And to be clear, just a little introspection here, it calls into question motivations. Here I am going live on a Saturday. I have donos open, right? Am I exploiting this event? I don't think I am. I think I'm trying to cover it, but I can hear the argument, right? That look at how streamers, look at how content creators, look at how influencers are monetizing this tragedy in order to make money, right? I can hear that argument. I don't buy it for the most part. There's a few who actually do that kind of thing. But most people are just, like, for me at least, I was just like, oh God, I want to talk about it. There's no one around. I'm going to go live and talk. But
I do want to say something. So
please.
I don't know if you heard how I phrase things. I usually put myself as in, when I talk about left and right, I can see both perspectives and understand both of them from a person who would believe what they're saying. Just as you seem incapable of thinking that the other side believes what they say is true.
Me?
That's because they don't care if it's true or not.
Oh.
Well, you did. You said one side believes that the other will destroy democracy, and the other side will. You don't
absolutely, Republicans will.
Okay, exactly. You have no ability to understand the other side. So
Okay, so
Can I
let me-
show
let me-
Can I show the footage
Wait,
of the shooter? Hold
whoa,
on.
sorry.
Can
I
dude? Does
believe
anyone
you're
know if
live
I
on
could show the
Twitch.
footage of the shooter getting shot? I don't think I can.
Don't do that.
Wick,
Don't
no,
do that.
absolutely not.
Don't do
Absolutely
that.
not. Don't do it. Not worth it. Don't do
Correct.
it. You're risking your
Okay,
channel.
I actually have a question for you then, because you're saying that like one side will destroy democracy, the others
Absolutely.
like believe that. Okay, cool. So if that's the case, if the threat is that high, at what point do you think violence is justified? At what point do you think a response would be justified? Because that's a fairly
Okay.
extreme rhetoric to say.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, I can explain my position perfectly, right? Violence is justified politically when one side uses the mechanism of the state unjustifiably. So, for instance, if, let's say, Donald Trump gets into office, right? This is hypothetical, and he, for day one, says, I'm suspending habeas corpus and I'm locking up everyone who voted for my opponent in blue states.
Okay,
Then
but
violence would be
a
absolutely
genuine,
justified.
Okay, but that's a genuine. That is. I want to be careful about how I word this. Actually, that is a fear that some people seriously hold. So, I mean, under those, because I mean, this is like pretty basic. It's like people conduct terrorist activities from a rational position. Terrorists aren't irrational actors; they're not crazy. Like this is really well studied. So, if that's your position and somebody believes that, I mean, that is a justification of political violence, right?
Yeah. Why would you wait for him to get power?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just do it beforehand if it's a guarantee?
I didn't say it was a guarantee. I said they would try.
Okay, but
Just because someone tries doesn't mean they will succeed.
But you said that they will in democracy. I don't understand how there's a try in there.
It's a little bit. This is why I'm questioning you, because it's a bit dissonant.
Oh, because I'm coming from that because I've seen Republicans go from the party of law and order to respecting law to just who cares if our president tried to overthrow a democracy? Who cares if Donald Trump did this? Who cares if Donald Trump did that?
This is an interesting.
They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, this is an
They
interesting. Hold on, this is an interesting conversation that should be had. I just don't know if now's the time to have this conversation specifically. Does
Yeah,
that
I
make
think
sense?
now is the perfect time to have it, actually. But I mean, I respect your platform.
Just because I think that it's a little uncouth at this point, at this juncture.
That's what I was trying to get at, is that there's some people that actually believe in the underlying issues that would lead to stuff like this. This is what I was trying to get at, is that this is a logical endpoint to these beliefs. And there has to be some way to pull those back.
Fuck, I'm actually talking with Hutch on Monday, and now we're going to be talking about this. We were going to be talking about Biden dropping out of all things.
I don't know if that's possible now.
He's not dropping out.
It wasn't possible beforehand. There's no one to replace Biden.
No.
It was a pipe dream. Like, who are they going to put in place? Kamala Harris. She's more unpopular than he is.
If you're available next week, what's your name? Justice.
Yes.
I think it's worth a talk, and so I will get with you. I'll DM you, find out times, and we can have that talk. But today, at least, I don't want to talk about who's worse, Republicans or Democrats, because ironically, or unironically, I should say, that's one of the reasons we're in this position, right?
Correct. I don't.
Who's worse, Republicans or Democrats? And both of you, Artemis, you've engaged in this softly. Justice, you've engaged this very hardly today, is being like, well, now we can see how the other side is actually worse now, and this is why we need to like, I want to keep that a little on the side, right? $5 for total emergency. The ends never justify the means, because the means determine the end. And thank you for the $5.
Yeah, no. My point is very simple. We're here because Donald Trump has ramped up extremism in this country significantly through his first term in office and through his absence of office. He is criminally, I would say, and this is a moral position, not a legal one. He has criminally undermined faith in our democracy through his election denialism, his continued election denialism. He's weakened the institution weakened our institutions throughout his presidency. And luckily, through his first term, he had really great men who stood up to him and said, no, you can't do this as president. Bill Barr, people forget this, but Bill Barr stopped Donald Trump from trying to arrest Joe Biden or open criminal investigations into Joe Biden through the Justice Department. Mike Pence will forever have my respect because he legitimately stood up to the mob and said, no, this is wrong. We don't do this as Americans. So, unfortunately, we can see that those wings of the conservative movement have been pushed out, and like it's Trump's cult. It really is just a cult.
Okay, $5
Yeah,
from
wise guy.
from Mr. Wise Guy Plays to say it looks like Destiny isn't condemning this on X and is actually at the very least entertaining the idea that this is being staged. He quote tweeted Tim Pool. Can you send me that tweet? I want to hear what he
Yeah,
actually said
that
rather
was
than
what I was
just
about to
assume.
say.
That's
So,
some conspiracy bullshit.
So here's what I'm going to say. I can understand why you would think that, Justice, but I don't
Because
outright.
it's reality. I agree.
There we go. That's the.
So yeah, I mean, I fucking love this. This is why I wanted to jump on. I could see what was going to happen.
Yep.
Because I mean, it is literally, it's
I was just
literally
waiting for
the
it.
fucking meme. It like, I know Wick doesn't want to talk about this. Sorry, let's not.
No,
let's
you
not,
can talk about like a little bit. You can point out the meme,
so
but I do want to move to the.
yeah, no, that's yeah. I mean, it's literally the meme. You've got like. The rational conversation becomes like, okay, can we debate this? Nope, this is a reality. Like, the Republicans have destroyed everything. QAnon's taking everything over. MAGA's look, I may not even necessarily disagree with you on things like MAGA or QAnon or anything else, but like the arguments there are so divisive that because like you can't engage, and then you've got like Artemis who's sat on the other side. That kind of alienation is again the very thing like that we're talking about. And it's all across West. We just had it in the election here. We just had it in the elections in France. And it's not healthy. So I mean, this is kind of why I asked the question of like, is this your normal? Because again, like this is what leads to terrorism.
Okay,
like,
I want to make sure that everyone knows this is Destiny's tweet, and this is what he's referring to. He's quote tweeting Tim Pool, and Tim Pool says that staged, quote unquote, this is Tim Pool's word, staged is trending. They scream Trump is Hitler, they riot and destroy, and then they claim their attacks are staged. So Destiny quote tweets that and says the tweet he's quoting has a single like. Remember that these are the same people who say January 6th is staged and that every protester was simply let into the building by cops and walked around inside peacefully. So it doesn't look like Destiny is going with the staged narrative. In fact, he's just pointing out. Yeah, he's just criticizing them using this rhetoric.
Low follower count with no
Yeah.
traction.
So unless there's another tweet I'm not seeing, which is possible, or one that was deleted, also possible. Yeah, I don't think that's
no. There's no edits on it, right?
Not that I see.
Okay, well then yeah, then I can only take it as is because it doesn't sound like he's saying it's staged. He's just taking a shot at Tim Pool for something wildly different.
This is also something that
color me shocked that Tim Pool is going to take give a take like that. Right?
This, of course,
Tim Pool has usually the worst political takes imaginable.
Sure.
Yeah. Sometimes he's good, but other times, like he just argues from his fifis.
This is something that, and I want to start out by saying that I don't think the whataboutism is understandable, right? But I don't know if that's the move, right? I don't think it's morally wrong. I just don't think it's the move. Trump said he would, quote unquote, stand up to crazy Nancy Pelosi if reelected president, asking a crowd of supporters, how's her husband doing, by the way? And saying a wall around her house didn't do a good job of protecting her 82-year-old husband with an intruder who fractured his skull with a hammer during break-in last year, prompting laughter from the crowd. But yes, both sides are guilty of this, but I don't know if whataboutism right now is the way.
The fact is that the person that attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband was somebody that was known to the family.
Again, we don't know who the shooter is, so we can only speculate.
Exactly.
$5 from Lesson Cell to say if Democrats are behind the incident or not, the way people receive it as such, if Trump was sure to win, this attack is going to fortify it more. And I don't think anyone disagrees with you, right?
Yeah, the play is obvious.
And then there's people who think that I'm only streaming on Twitch, saying, oh, he only has 28 viewers on Twitch. Sure. But I have other platforms, and you guys forget about that all the time. But
yeah, you have 113 people watching.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. But anyway,
I mean, it's really easy for him just to take the Teddy approach, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to carry on. I stood up. real simple. Or
Yeah.
was it Nixon who made the joke that a balloon popped and he said missed me?
That was Reagan, I believe.
Reagan. There we go.
Yeah, but yeah, this is going to be a bull moose event. This is what it's going to be. But the big thing is that at this point, there's only two ways that this can go. Either the rhetoric is going to drastically get pulled back, or people are going to hunker down, and it's not going to be good.
Biden to deliver on-camera statement shortly. So he is
Okay,
holding
yeah,
a
that's
statement
what I expected from him. So
yes. When that happens, someone link me it, and we will watch that.
Yeah, fuck it.
That he has to do this. Otherwise, there's going to be a great disparity in how people are going to view him.
People are saying he already did. Can someone link me that? Shit, did I miss it? My God, I'm listening to you guys. Well, I won't blame you. It's on me.
Is it?
I need to stop looking at Twitter. Mrs. Biden.
I didn't see it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it on Twitter. But
here, someone's linking it to me.
Yeah.
Oh nope. This is why I look at it before I after I click on a link. This is why I don't put it up on my screen.
Is it a trick?
Someone here, I will ban you.
Yep. Okay. Yep. All right. Well, that's what I figured.
Yeah. Okay.
It was just live on ABC.
Man.
Good for Biden.
Yeah, the people were saying it was staged. If it was staged, they went really hard on the staging. People are dead.
Yeah. Like as in the video I showed you is the shooter dead on a roof.
Yeah. At least two.
Oh, they just went to Epstein's Island with JFK and was it R. Kelly? Or no, wait, who was it? Who's that rapper from the 90s that
we
died?
Don't need
Tupac.
To do the conspiracy. I know it's a joke, right? But, holy shit, you're covering a retweet? Jesus Christ. What do you want us to do? We have presidents responding on Twitter. I am going to cover Twitter. Okay. I don't know what to tell you. Like, there are powerful people with influence in the United States of America and around the world who use Twitter as a platform in order to spread their message, get their things across, and talk about it. And I don't know why we should ignore it as a platform. Luke TS Manager says, are we going to talk about how certain left media companies are downplaying this assassination attempt? Can you link me?
Yeah, all the headlines from right after it.
About them.
I don't think they're downplaying. I just don't think they're rushing to. I don't think they're rushing to report inaccurate information.
They're reporting that that Secret Service picked him up after he fell. You even said that.
The New York Times. I never said that. What else?
Oh,
what other we got?
Somebody else. Oh, Trump falls to ground after loud claps. That was another one.
Yeah, who said that?
I think it was Associated Press.
The AP.
Oh, the AP. Look. Yeah. They're just aggregating stuff as it comes in. They don't know exactly what's going on.
To be fair, Trump falls to the ground after loud claps kind of sounds like he was overwhelmed with emotion at how supportive everyone was being. I'm not sure that's even a bad. That's even a good takedown article.
There was a simultaneous from I think the Washington Post about how there was medical events happening at the same time about his supporters getting heat exhaustion.
Oh, where are they? In Pennsylvania?
Well, I don't look.
Like,
if these things are coming out like within a minute or two,
it was just funny. It was.
I don't blame anyone for that. That's just right? $2 from Mr. Wise Guy Plays. Will $2 compel you to say X instead of Twitter? It will for that super chat.
Never.
It's always for that super chat.
Give me 100 at least. Christ.
$100 and I won't say Twitter the rest of the night. I'll say X.
I'll tell you what. There has to be a journalist somewhere on the right who's prepared to put out a title with like loud but mostly peaceful Trump rally would be like. But yeah, no, I don't know. Look, you're gonna get these titles. There's gonna be reports, and obviously, left-wing media is going to downplay
so Biden,
even,
So hold on, Biden was spotted leaving a church in Delaware after shooting at Trump rally. So he's not anywhere close to giving a speech yet.
No, he just did. I see the.
You see it?
I see the President Joe Biden speaks on Saturday, July 13th. This is on CNN. Don't have a link to the.
Because Washington Post says Biden expected to speak after Trump is shot, so I don't know if it happened.
This is what he said apparently. President Joe Biden condemned the shooting at Donald Trump rally and said there's no place for this kind of violence in America. It's sick. It's one of the reasons we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this.
Yeah.
So he did speak. I don't know for how
Biden.
long,
I got
but he
it.
did speak.
I found it here. I'll give it to
Can
you.
you
so you
DM it to me and then we can watch it?
Yep.
You guys want to watch it? Or actually, you know what? Stream it. I'll give you permissions real quick.
Nope.
You're not gonna.
Nope. You got it. No, you got it. I sent it to you. All right.
Beckett, can you? I'm gonna send it to you. Can you stream it in my thing?
I'll
give you the just because if I stream it at the same time, it's just gonna it makes it weird.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That's fine.
Let me give you a role so you can do this, and let me give you.
Okay, Rick Rock, calm down. Biden can at least do a 4-minute speech. That's not hard. Okay, it's not pre-recorded. Calm down.
Is there people saying that? Okay,
Well, yeah,
look,
of course.
if you are out there claiming this was like pre-recorded, for what purpose? Like, are you suggesting that he knew in advance and then?
I think he's just
prepared?
making a joke.
Oh,
He's saying he shit his
I'd
pants.
have to read it. But here, if you could stream that in the Discord call,
sure,
we can
I'll
all
do it.
watch it together.
Let's do that. And
All right.
there we go.
Okay.
Are we watching?
Yeah, we were
yeah.
watching.
Yeah, if you're ready.
Ready.
Yep.
Let's hear what he
I'm
says.
ready.
Thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have engaged in making sure that people and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is, the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. And everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I'm able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. But so far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that they're thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, and I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do. Okay?
Mr. President, do you think this was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
Are you worried for President safety? Was the security failing, Mr. President?
Okay. I think we are good on that.
Yep. I think it's obviously it was a security failing, but that's
Yeah, well, yes.
you can't stop 100% of all attempts. That's just not possible. So I can understand that the freak one-off that they weren't expecting.
Yeah. Also, like, we obviously don't know a lot about the shooter right now.
Yeah, I think he
the
was
biggest
wise
problem-
not to go into like super details, right? I think that's just a wise thing to say. You want to get out what you want. I think what he did about how we should all condemn this, right? We need to do that. I think that was I think the statement was good. It did what he needed to do. Would I have liked more information? Yes, but he may not just have it. So.
I think he did. I think he did well at the end. I think the tone he was getting across wasn't heavy enough, but that's fine. The fact that he's going to use, like, he's publicly stated he's going to use all of his tools from his investigative departments or whatever, his law enforcement to find out what's going on. That was a proper statement.
Yeah.
Which is what I wanted to have, at least from somebody.
Yeah.
That they were going to use all of the means to do so. So that's okay. That was serviceable. That I would accept that. That's fine. Which is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I think Oh, honestly, right now, it's probably. I'm just gonna say it's probably just some lone wolf nut guy who just decided to.
We
to
have
shoot him.
no idea. I want to make sure that everyone knows we have no idea. I have no information to say whether it was a lone wolf, whether it was a planned event from a terrorist organization, whether it was Hamas. I don't know. No one does. We don't have any information, and you can speculate all you like, but that's all it is.
Can we
It's
take
speculating.
bets?
I've
we take
already put
bets?
money down with somebody else. That
Okay.
I don't know whether or not it's going to be planned or whatever, but it's just that the statement known to the FBI is going to come up.
Mr. Wise Guy Plays for $5. Would you agree that this is probably worse than January 6th simply because innocent people actually got deleted? Also, can I join the call on Vivis's money low? Yeah, I don't mind you joining the call.
I mean,
as long as you
hold on.
behave. But is this worse than January 6th? I mean, yeah, like
Oh
someone
yeah, it
died
would
on
have
January
ended
6th too. Is
yeah.
this worse?
If
Don't
he would have
hold me to
died,
this,
yeah,
but it feels worse.
yeah.
Don't
If
hold
he
me
would
to
have
this.
died, it would have been much worse than January 6th.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Again, don't hold me to it. Then again, if they had gotten in and killed a politician on January 6th, that would have also been.
It's always difficult with stuff like this where you're comparing different
Yeah.
events like that.
The issue being is that okay, does anybody here think that the right wouldn't just come up in arms after an assassination of
They
Trump
might
like that?
anyway. No, of course they would.
No, that's stood out.
Wait, hold on. Do I think that if Trump was assassinated, the right would would not randomly, but start arming themselves? Yeah, I do. I don't think that. To be clear, I don't think like the right. I think you might get sections, or it might have a radicalizing effect. But the idea that the right in general would suddenly arm themselves after, like, if Trump was assassinated, no, I don't think it would lead to civil war in the US. It would probably
there'd be violence on the streets.
Yeah, there would definitely be there would be sectarian violence going on. That's all. That's
protests. Maybe a couple
protests.
Riots, that would be it.
Protests are for people who think the institutions work.
Yeah, okay, but I mean, like, I think this is just a bit of an extreme statement against, like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'd start forming militias and start, like, talking about, like, reenacting the Civil War in the streets. But I think you'd probably get protests of some kind. I think they'd probably put up a new candidate very quickly who'd have mass bipartisan support. And I think that they'd be looking very seriously at overhauling the legal and security systems when they got into power. But no, I don't.
That is a very optimistic. I think that's a very optimistic view.
I think if we were going to see that kind of violence, we would have already seen it.
Okay, so everybody here agrees that Trump has a cult of personality around him. Yes.
Yes, but the problem is that when the cult of personality, like when the figurehead of the cult of personality goes away, 9 times out of 10, actually, I'm just going to say it, 99 times out of 100. The movement just fizzles out and they just kind of go their separate ways and start forming their own factions within their own establishment. So, like, what would happen realistically is that the Republican convention would be a bloodbath.
Here's what Donald Trump Jr. has to say. Donald Trump Jr. just said, I just spoke to my Donald Trump Jr., so his son. Okay. I just spoke to my father on the phone, and he is in great spirits. He will never stop fighting to save America, no matter what the radical left throws at him.
Yep. That's expected.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's at least it was left to that and nothing more. There wasn't. Yep. So far, but no, I'm gonna have to just ignore what Justice said because he's downplaying what Trump is. Trump is a symptom, not a not a cause of all the things going on. If they were they would martyr that man, that would only galvanize the base into like fucking taking actual action because you just opened that door.
Doubtful.
Okay,
I want to make sure that the new guy gets a chance to say some things. Okay, new guy.
I know. I'm just listening.
Okay,
for right
I just
now.
want to make sure you have a little.
Well, what's your thought process on this then?
Oh, because all right. So my background is I am an elected Democrat locally, and I've got a degree in history and political science. I've studied the collapse of political movements and the collapse of empires, My specialty was in World War I and World War I Reconstruction. So what generally happens is, and we've seen this throughout America with populists before, right? They say, "Oh, I'm the only person." Yeah, they build their cult of personality. They give their followers. Huey Long was seen as a challenger to FDR back during the Great Depression. I believe he was killed, and this is kind of scratching my memory. So if I'm not completely accurate, just give me some liberty here. He was killed. People said, "Oh, there's going to be mass violence in the streets and stuff like that." Never happened. Doesn't materialize.
I don't think he ever ran. I think he was killed before he even announced.
He was close. He was close to running. Is the speculation.
Yeah,
So like
go ahead.
these political movements kind of end up splintering and fracturing. So like when Donald Trump does go away, right, either to prison or into retirement, or he just dies, from natural causes. Let's be clear. The MAGA movement will just fall apart. It'll fall apart. It'll form these little factions, and then it'll just go off into the sunset eventually, like all these political movements do. Mostly because a lot of people just don't believe in MAGA realistically.
I agree with some of what you're saying, but like Anonymous is right. Trump's a symptom. He's not the cause of this, because
He
if he
is.
was, okay, well, how do you account for similar movements and radicalizations in other countries?
Oh, that's because liberalization has basically made things so easy for people in the West that they kind of feel.
Okay,
a
so
kind of
Trump's a
identity crisis.
symptom.
Yes, he's a symptom of
Okay.
our leaders being really good at their jobs.
Okay, well, regardless of that, but he's a symptom, and the Tea Party existed before him. And while you're right that like Trump disappears, MAGA probably goes. But
the Tea Party was a symptom of, well, the Tea Party was really just a backlash against Obama for being black. Like, let's be real.
Oh no, come on!
It wasn't just that.
Okay, we have strayed so far from the light of God.
Hold on.
We have strayed so far from what we're going to be
Wick.
talking about today. We can have this discussion.
Yes.
We'll do it next week. Today, we're not having this discussion.
But you were saying that he's a symptom of well, I was saying, yes, Trump is a symptom, and that our leaders have been really good. They've built a really good country.
Can I just respond?
Just Ice is absolutely right. Just Ice is absolutely right, but because his whole point was that liberalism does bring into play the fact that we do allow our enemies of anti-liberalism to foster, because the whole point of liberalism is freedom of speech. Can we agree on that? Is that your point, Just Ice?
That's yeah. That's good.
And the point, and I would assume as well,
FBI
that
is
populism
on the
is
scene.
very important.
Okay, you guys aren't going to interrupt the news updates, gang. I will figure this place out.
Breaking news!
Because this is what I like the discussion. I like the back and forth. We're always here to have a good discussion.
Yeah.
But if it interrupts me actually reporting on the events on the ground as they're happening, we're gonna prioritize those events, right, baby? So FBI is on the scene in Butler after the shooting and are currently working with the U.S. Secret Service as the investigation moves forward. I know that's not a huge update, but again, as they come in, I will be telling you, and I will be kind of...
That's the same agency that so many populists on the right want to get rid of, right? That's the FBI, the ones that, work to get rid of, Hillary Clinton's emails. The same agency that tried to elect Hillary Clinton and is against Trump. The populist, like Rob Noor, will preach all day on so many of these platforms. That's exactly what they say. So Wick, is that a trusted resource? Can we really trust that?
Well, yeah, Rob Noor is a great debater. Doesn't have a great command of the facts, but great guy overall. I hope he wasn't in the rally. Do you know that at Wick if he was there?
I have no idea.
I saw his Twitter. He was not there. He was working.
Hold on. I'm just gonna point this out. I know this is all semi joking. I don't know if you're joking. I'm gonna assume you are. But optically this looks like dog shit. If the left is going to do this, it's not going to garner any type of understanding or sympathy from the independent side, and it's going to make people push you away.
This is why, when I came on this and when I started streaming this, I told you this, guys. a few minutes ago, like 20 minutes ago. I said this. I keep saying this to you. No one listens to me. This isn't the time to go, well, the left is obviously wrong here or the right is obviously wrong here. We need to stop it, at least for now, and talk about what we can do to de-radicalize each other, right? What this means in practice is my side has to admit the things that it does that are incorrect, that are exacerbating the problem, and we have to be willing to correct that. And the other side, and there's not just two sides here, that's a mistake. There's a lot of different factions at play, but the other side, just for ease of the vernacular here, has to do the same. If one side or the other fails to do that, we are going to continue along this road to hell. So we both.
Wait. Can we agree that the right is much more extreme today
Ah,
on the political landscape than the left?
$5 from another new account. Wick, please bring this.
We can't agree on
more
that,
often.
though. You know,
as a
that.
right winger, I'm loving this. Love hearing the tier party formed because of Obama's traits. Well,
yeah, exactly. What a fucking retarded statement.
Okay,
absolutely.
Okay. Do you
Wick,
think
if you want
if you want to hold on just quickly, even if you want to make the argument that the right is much more politically extreme, at least actually, do you know what? I don't know if I'd argue that much more politically extreme. It's certainly more formed as a political extreme. So it's much more condensed. Like the far left, generally speaking, will eat itself.
There's nothing on the right. There are no mainstream Republicans anymore. They're all dead. Artemis is laughing because he would never vote for somebody like George Bush ever again. He's the type of person that was a Bernie or Buster populist, and the right wing has fully embraced a Trump populist. And that's what Justice was talking about. The fact that the Republican Party, with their populist platform, that the socialist DSA left is jealous of, they were able to capture the working class white American man to be able to have them vote for Republican. This was not the way before. This was, those people voted. That's why Joe Biden always talks about the fact that.
Can I ask a question then? Why did that happen? Do you think?
I know. Because of quote unquote woke left and the idea that being educated, it's a divide on educated versus non-educated.
No, hold on, just quickly, because again, this is such an online rhetoric. When we know that the
have you been to a working class man's? Have you been to an electrician's? Do you go to facilities? Do you talk to these men? Do you talk to unions?
Hold on. Can I finish my statement? Because again,
you asked me a question, I answered.
You brought up unions and you brought up working class men, but the biggest drivers for these things are economic. They always are.
Hang on.
Did I stutter? What's the difference? It's about education.
Enough.
Education.
Enough.
Of course.
Enough. $5 from Luke TS Manager. Then I want to make sure that our new guy gets in here as well. How is the right more politically extreme? You have the right in this chat. You will never see lefties in a right-wing streamer chat ever. Well, I don't go into other people's streamer chats.
Tell me who, because I try to go on Bob North's stream, he won't let me.
Okay.
To be clear, hold on. To be clear,
quickly than the new guy.
All Pew research has shown that the right has barely moved on its positions, and the left has ran to the left and more extreme over the last 10 years. I don't know where people are saying.
Kamala Harris has released a statement. Kamala Harris says violence such as this has no place in our nation. We must all condemn this abhorrent act and do our part to ensure that it does not lead to more violence. I think that's pitch perfect. I think that's good. Okay, new guy. What do you got?
What's up, Smooth? What's up?
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, what's popping, y'all? Okay, so I'm assuming y'all are past the shooting part, and y'all are talking about what this means for the country.
You can talk about whatever part you want to talk about, buddy. Just
go ahead.
To say. Okay. All right. So cool. I'm gonna try and cover all my bases. And first of all, I want to say this. I'm gonna sound a bit I'll start here first. First of all, this is tragic in and of itself. Secondly, it is oddly convenient. It is too convenient for me. It's convenient, and let me explain why I say it's convenient. It's convenient because when you I said it on my stream and I'll say it here. When you look at one, you know what I'm saying? Okay, he had the court cases. Two, then you have the Project 2025 stuff that bubbled up really bad in the last 2 weeks. And then three, you had the Trump files,
Just
and
don't
that was
imply it.
early.
Just say what
It
you
was early.
think.
No, no,
Hold
no.
on. Stop.
Is it
Stop.
a
Stop. Stop. Stop.
conspiracy?
Stop. Stop. Everyone, stop. Except for me. Okay. Don't imply it. Just say it.
No. I'm gonna say what I think, but I said those three things to then why I'm gonna say it. I think that this could have been stage
A setup.
convenient.
It's a setup.
This could have
It's
been a
all
setup. We could have.
Bye.
Damn.
Okay, good. So anyway, Beckett,
Damn.
the
Sure,
reason
Hold
I
on.
Keeping it
Hold on.
real.
No, I want to
Love
make
it.
sure everyone knows why I did that.
Yeah, because
Is
he was
anyone
basically.
questioning?
Well, actually, no. You said.
Okay.
Say it, Wick.
This is why. People are dead. It's not staged. We're not going to
Yeah.
do this Alex Jones shit where we think that they're false flag actors, any of this. Unless you have some hard fucking evidence, okay? Then I'll hear you out. But this is all speculation. And
Also, you probably changed.
Yes.
You probably saved. You
to
probably
just-
saved your
yes, that this has been staged, right?
Yeah.
Is one abhorrent, morally abhorrent. It's abhorrent, okay? And two, like strategically, it makes you look like you're crazy, right? Do you guys understand how crazy you look when you say stuff like that? How crazy you look when we have bodies, not even cold.
He was
And you're
saying it
like-
for stream. That's
yeah,
what he was
no,
saying it
that's
for.
crazy.
Yeah, he was saying it for stream.
I'm going to point this out. You probably saved your channel from that.
Yes, good job.
Yeah, because if you don't let that go on for any longer than that, then you probably would
I
have been
wanted to
struck
make
with
sure
something.
that he would I didn't know
Actually
what he
say
was
it.
trying to apply, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he's just trying to get at something and was doing a weird way of doing it. I can understand that, right? Sometimes I struggle with the path to take to get to the point I want to make. That happens on occasion, sometimes more occasions than I would like, but I wanted to make sure what he was saying before I
Yeah.
booted him.
So I guess we should get back to the core point of the actual stream, which is what can the both sides do to come back from the precipice?
From the brink.
Precipice.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, one, I'll do the left and I'll do the right. So the left can stop talking about the stuff that's obviously probably radicalizing people, which is the threat to democracy thing, and focus on policy decisions and how their guy is better at policy more than the fear mongering, because the fear mongering is going to lead to more radicalization. If
Artemis,
you
you already
hold on.
believe that January 6th was not a big deal, correct? Can I get that on the record? Just
The rioting was a pretty big deal. Yeah.
the writing was a pretty big deal, but the elector scheme wasn't.
Yeah, because it was never going to work.
Yeah, see, fucking hell, dude. You are every time when I go to Canvas and I talk
that
to
out,
Americans. Yeah, thank you. Every time I talk to Americans, the
Mhm.
number one point that they bring up about, and I'm not just talking Democrats. The number one point they bring up is democracy, and the reason that they bring it up is because not just because of January 6th and a riot. They bring it up because they see that Trump was trying to keep hold of power after he lost an election.
Okay.
And
I'm
he
going to
saw,
point this out.
I know you're bullshit. I've seen your Twitter and I've argued in there already. But I'm telling you,
Okay,
you
enough. I
are
don't want to relive.
way
We can do this
beyond.
next week. We will have a show, maybe
Okay.
maybe
Yeah.
Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. We'll have a show on this, obviously, and we can do all that. But don't
So-
snipe
I guess.
it.
I interrupted Artemis. Artemis,
Artemis
go
is
on.
doing
I'm
it
sorry.
on
I'm
occasion
sorry.
too,
I'm
but
sorry.
you're doing it directly.
I do.
Both
know,
of you,
I'm sorry.
Just stop sniping at each other, please. Just
Hold
stop.
on. I want to point out that I try to give the statements of how to help bring things back to the precipice.
I'm
And then
not
this
saying that you
happened.
guys are the same. I'm just saying.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just pointing this out.
We need to.
Um,
Okay, but
if-
continue on your
yeah.
statement. So you said,
So,
but the
so
left.
these,
What's the right?
well, hold on. I'm not done with the left yet. But they need to focus on policy positions. They need to actively do the toning down of the language, saying people need to be calm. Our action is on November, was it 5th or 4th? I can't remember. Whatever the election day is. They need to focus on that. They have a fucking the DNC convention coming up. They need to focus on what that's going to do. And they don't need to be talking about the threat to democracy stuff because it's not helping them in any way. For the right,
I think that they probably need to just shut the fuck up.
$5 from Skilltree Gaming. 50 Cent posted a pic of Trump on Twitter with the many men audio looping. What a crazy day. I'm not familiar with the many men audio loop. Does that make me a boomer? Does that make me a bad person?
Oh,
No.
you're already a boomer, Wick. I think you're good.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no. So the big problem is that the right, since Ronald Reagan, has slowly but surely, and Trump is the culmination of it, really just run on social issues rather than any actual policy. So I would say the only actual policy that Donald Trump has would be immigration.
Sure.
But even that is wrapped up in just cultural
Just so we all
bullshit
understand the
messaging.
assignment, okay, what I want each of you to do is to give me one way that the right can bring us back from the brink and one way that the left can correct their actions and bring us back from the brink. Give us one from each. Go ahead.
Yeah. So because of that, I'm sorry, I wanted to get to that. Put that out there before you cut me off, Wick. Sorry, but because of that is that the conservatives have now radicalized their own base to be extreme and to want the most extreme action, whether it's abolishing the FBI or abolishing NATO, or ending trade agreements, all of which have contributed to building the best country objectively in the history of the planet. We are the American empire. We are the only
Hey, can
superpower.
someone, I'm sorry to
because of
interrupt,
them.
someone get me the link of what Trump just tweeted out on Troop Social. Can you DM that to me? If you're listening and you have my DMs, please do so. Please give me what he said. I would love to read it on air. Well, can't super chat links. Yeah, that's on. I don't know the set. I'm a boomer, gang. I don't know the settings and how to fuck with them. $2 from Crypt says Ian Miles Chong says we are now in a war. No, we are not.
Who cares what Ian Miles Chung has?
Yeah, who
Hasn't he
cares
been
what that guy
executed
does?
by Malaysia like 3 times?
But what I want to hear from is what, and I think it's important to hear what Donald Trump said. And so if anyone has a link to that, give that to me and I'll read it.
Shout out to Ian Miles Chong for keeping community notes in business. That man is a true champ.
Okay.
He's the most noted person, I think, on Twitter.
So Trump says that he will allegedly try to attend the UFC fight tonight.
Okay, here's what I'm just going to read the quote.
Yep.
Uh-oh. I clicked the wrong button. Okay, we're back.
Boomin' be boomin'.
Okay, yeah, boomin' be boomin'. I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all of law enforcement for their rapid response in the shooting that just took place in Butler, Pennsylvania. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed, and also the family of another person that was badly injured. It's loading again. I don't know why it's loading. It's True Social is just a really bad.
Do you want me to finish reading it for you?
Yeah, please finish reading it.
True Social.
Oh no, hold on, I got it.
Okay.
It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. Nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong in that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt this bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening. God bless America.
Yeah, so he was hit in the ear. Okay.
And $2
Yeah,
from
that picture was
Firechild
insane.
to say, will Trump-tards try to assassinate Biden back? Well, that is a question. The chances of it happening have gone up tremendously.
I think
gone up. Yes.
I actually think the chances have gone drastically down because now that they know the Secret Service have exhibited, just had a shooting, that they're going to put extra security around the president now.
But
yeah,
again,
I think it's gone drastically down.
People try stupid shit all the time. Okay.
Yeah,
regardless
this
of the success of it. Fair enough.
This is not actually the first assassination attempt that Trump has lived through.
Sure.
There was one where one of the people tried to grab a policeman's gun to use it against Trump. That was people forgot about that, but that did happen. That was. I'm not even going to do the political affiliation thing. I'm just going to say that happened. So this is not the first time somebody's tried to kill him on stage.
That's also true. But
when was that?
Yeah.
When he was president.
So during his reign. Okay. Justice, I still want to. So you've given the right answer. Give us what the left. Do you think the left can do?
I haven't even given the right answer. My answer for the right is they have to. The current leader, Donald Trump, has to go off into the sunset. either politically or just retire, and then that will allow the Republican Party to find itself. Unfortunately, they have to get off their addiction to populist issues. The left's problem is that we kind of don't push out the crazies fast enough.
Okay.
We allow them space to kind of go out and do their damage to us and our brand, and then we just kind of quietly push them off after we lose an election. So the one thing that the right's very good at is enforcing orthodoxy. Like Nick Fuentes will never be allowed anywhere near like the stage or any big platform on the right to push his brand, but we'll give our platform willingly to like crazy people like was it like the crazy like that BLM organization, the actual one that like stole billions of or millions of dollars
Yeah, the
to
Marxist
quote
one.
unquote fight racism by buying mansions in white neighborhoods.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean that's what we need to do, and we need to push them out rather effectively, or
Okay.
rather faster, I would say.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
much quicker.
So $5 from Running Joke to say in Biden's America, political opponents are shot at. Truly sad. Thank you for $5, but why are we
What a
politicizing
stupid
this?
statement.
But,
Sorry.
well, in pursuit of knowledge, floor is yours.
Sorry.
I want to hear what your
Yes.
thoughts are on how to de-radicalize, how to step back from the ledge, what the right can do, and what the left can do. Please give me
What the right can do. What the right can do is listen to their leader, which is don't do these things. Right? I guarantee Trump doesn't want to be shot at. Now he just wants to imprison people. That's fine. Does he want to have Project 2025? That's he doesn't associate with them, but he knows every talking point. That's a different story. They need to listen to the leader, and guess what? They do listen to their leader. And overall, the right will do those things. I don't think there's going to be a civil war if the right loses. I truly don't think that. Even as bad January 6th was, I don't think they're going to do anything like that. What the left has to do is also listen to their leader. We're hearing statements from President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, denouncing all these things. The obvious reason is because we do not want political people to be assassinated, right? It's a stupid world that we're going to live in, that anybody that tries to step into power and try to have any sort of be the voice, be the front and center for any political party, whether it be the right or the left, you do not have them try to be killed. We do not want a Weimar Republic where the radicals take over, where the extremists take over, where you have people chanting for one solution or the other because they have to have. Holy shit,
Mute him.
bro!
Yeah.
No, he got himself. He did it.
Okay,
Finish
cool.
your thoughts, yeah.
I'm sorry. But obviously, we do not want to have political extremism. This is not a world that the United States will ever want to be in, because obviously we'll turn into a banana republic. It's a gross world to ever want to live in that world. Has it happened in the past? Absolutely. There have been multiple presidential assassination attempts and successful ones. The latest, obviously, being Reagan. Trump had one, but I don't think anybody heard about that one because the guy was an idiot, obviously, and didn't even get the gun. So, these kind of things should not, and will not happen with the right people talking to the right people. Are there going to be crazies that try to do these things? Obviously. Do we know who did this? Obviously not. I am definitely worried about, though, whoever did this from the right or the left. Obviously, Trump looks like a fucking god king. And that's why he's going to a UFC event tonight to go out on stage and try to milk the fucking shit out of that. Because the everyday common man.
To be clear, if you get shot at, you get to milk it. You just get to milk it. You do. That's happened. That's fair play.
Teddy Roosevelt had a whole speech about it after he got.
Oh, hold on, Rob. Hold on.
Yeah.
What's
okay. What was Rob saying? I can't hear you.
I
can't
don't know.
hear him either.
He just stopped talking for a second. If you can, Rob, I let Beckett go right after Pursuit.
Yeah, I was just
And
saying
then-
I couldn't hear In Pursuit of Knowledge. It must just.
Can you hear me now?
I'm sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear him?
Can you hear us?
I hear
I don't
everyone
know.
but him for some reason.
Okay.
I think he probably blocked me. That's why.
Yeah. If you block somebody, you can't hear them. So you need to check to see it.
That
That makes sense. That's probably what it is. Because I tried to get. I've spoken to Rob one other time on his stream, and then he muted me and blocked me.
Yeah, okay,
afterwards.
we're not okay. You guys can litigate that. I don't give a shit.
That's not me. I'm just saying why.
Okay.
I'm not angry or anything.
Like a good lefty, you gonna call for an attempt on my life? Is that what's going on?
Okay, calm down. Calm down.
Rob, just so you know the rules for today. Hold on. Rob, just so you know for the rules for today, because you just got here, right? We are not going to play the blame game today. Today we're going to talk about deradicalization, how we can step back from the brink.
No. I'm not.
We can do the blame game another day. I will set up a show.
I agree with that message, but I'll say my piece and you can boot me if you want. But I'll wait my turn.
Okay.
Beckett.
So, I think talking about what left and right political parties can do, or what presidents can do, is mixing. I think you can't see the wood for the trees. Truth is that the reason this is happening fucking everywhere is because politics itself has become less day-to-day influential. The focus is of the left and right needs to be far more locally based. People need to be more engaged, but also there needs to be stronger actions to help actual people. Like the fact that, politicians are going to go, well, who's the president? Who fucking cares? In America, like so many of the laws are based on states in your local region. It's going to be based on who like your councillors are, who's like sitting in like local office. All those things are elected. Some of them aren't even opposed. Some of them aren't even filled. And until like there's a structure where people can actually influence things, because that a lot of this is just people feel completely lost and disattached on both the right and the left. Trump goes away, somebody else will fill that void, because the problem is that people want to go, hey, how do I make my life better? They elect presidents like Trump and nothing changes. And then they go, well, maybe we just need to be more extreme. And actually, I think the case needs to be like an appeal to, hey, can you afford your groceries under inflation? Because inflation's down, but groceries haven't gone down in price because supermarkets haven't dropped their price. These simple things. And if you want like a thing politicians can do, or streamers or public figures, should be talking about the fact that, yeah, we need to make sure people have gas in their cars, a chicken in the pot, and can afford to feed their family. Because the vast majority of people are not sat here arguing about what Fuentes thinks or what Hassan thinks. They're thinking, hey, I just want to be able to get on with my life, raise my kids, and have a decent job that feels rewarding.
Those people don't go out and shoot others, right? What the people who traditionally have been radicalized enough that they go out and they try to attempt to assassinate political rivals, at least in the last 20 to 30 years, at least in the West. I'm not talking about like South America, things like that, or Israel, Palestine.
You're talking about general de-radicalization. If you're talking about the people who are going to be on the fringes, like you would just want to create the situation that's going to limit those, like the creation of those people, because no matter what actions you take, there's always going to be people who, are going to say, hey, I hate this system for whatever reason, and I'm going to take extreme actions. It's just if you have more of those people and more radical voices that aren't really saying anything, you just up the chances massively of something like this happening.
$5, and I'll let you go after I read my super chat. I promise, Rob. $5 from another new account to say, flannel guy calling right stupid. If left is so much smarter than right, how come nobody on left knew how to Google actual facts on Rittenhouse? Thank you for the $5. But now let's pass the ball to Rob and see what Rob has to say.
All right.
Can I respond to that after that?
I'll go.
After
Rob. Rob has the floor.
Okay, so I'll do two things. First, I do think that we definitely need to talk about people taking a step back. I agree with that message. So I'll say this at first. I think that there is truth that no matter how big of streamers we are, whether you're talking to one person or 50 people or 10,000 people or more, that you should always keep in mind that we talk about things that, if we're serious, can seem very bleak to people. I think the country and the world's going in a bad direction in many ways. I'm dead serious about everything I talk about. I'm sort of along the lines of Beckett, though I think it's more than just saying, policies and stuff like this. For me, I try to always remind my audience that political violence is never morally justified in today's day and world, and it's strategically a huge mistake. The battle's fought with information. If you really want to help your side, then become a better orator, become a better researcher, talk to people, get on the phones, do things like that. Even if you think your opponents are the worst people in the world, that's the strategic way to win. Engaging in acts of violence will only harm your own side strategically. More important than that, it's immoral, and you shouldn't be doing it for moral reasons. But unfortunately, you can't convince everyone of that morality argument. So I try to take a two-pronged approach. I also think it's important to realize we're all going to die at someday. And 100 years after we're gone, most people won't remember us. If you're lucky, you'll have a granddaughter or two that remembers you, but that's about it. You have to live with yourself in the mirror at night. You have to live with your relationship with a higher power. You have to live with your family. Those are the things that really matter. Separate yourself from these important political issues and realize it's not worth doing something that harms those personal relationships that you have. Whether that means making a stupid, I can give you a brief example. Right outside, I live 40 minutes away from the shooting took place. There's a community called Oil City here. July 4th, Jack Posobiec puts a tweet out from the constable of Oil City that basically says, there's going to come a time in the future where you'll have to kill your family members that are Trump supporters. Now, that's a terrible tweet, and Jack Posobiec points it out, and this guy's an elected official. He's been forced to resign. He's lost his job. Was it worth it? Now, that guy didn't engage in an act of violence, but he said something stupid in a heated moment, and now his life's screwed. Now, of course, he's playing the victim, whatever. The point I'm trying to make is you shouldn't be doing something radical, and you should even take a step back before you're even putting things on social media that maybe it's just words to you right now, but in the heat of the emotion, you're going to say something that you regret, and it could affect your life going forward. If you're on the left and you buy all of this rhetoric that Trump's the new Hitler and Trump's going to kill democracy and he could use SEAL Team 6, I think you should consider your rhetoric and how dangerous that could be. But I don't blame you for that rhetoric. Just remember that it's important to remind your audience or yourself that violence and extreme actions are not the way to go about beating that. If you're on the right now and you're thinking, my God, they tried to assassinate our guy, we need to have some sort of vengeance, that is the incredible, exact wrong idea. Trump was the person that was shot. He's not going to take that, or he's not going to have that sort of idea. You shouldn't either. It is bad morally. It's bad strategically. Take a step back, spend time with your family. Don't do anything crazy. Don't say anything crazy. Everyone needs to realize that.
Based. No, that's exactly correct. I just want to echo that what you said is exactly correct. No notes. We need to. Yeah, I'll let you get to the second part. Right.
Yeah, I'm going to piss you all off here. Right. So here's the thing. I could sit here and talk about how there's more political violence in the United States, at least that comes from the left. That's not really what I'm going to do. I want to be clear here. I've debated Wick. I've debated lefty after lefty on your panels, on other panels. I've debated big streamers like Destiny. I've heard them say Trump's Hitler, Trump's threatening democracy, Trump's doing this, Trump's doing that. He's the worst person in the world. He's going to lock up, whatever. I do not blame any of you for having those opinions and that some extreme a-hole goes out and does something that you're somehow responsible. I think that is a ludicrous position to have. And I've been consistent on that regardless of, so like, think about that. Does that mean, like, for example, if I say, well, I think Biden's economy is terrible, does that mean if someone goes out there who's struggling and does something terrible, I'm responsible? Of course not. That's not the world I want to live in. But that's the world you want to live in, Wick. That's the world the Democrats want to live in. You want to know how I know? Because you all have advocated for things like keeping Donald Trump off the ballot, in part because he had tweets like, and
I argued against that. I argued with Pisco against that.
Good for you, but the party you're supporting tried to keep him off the ballot for saying things like tweeting "fight like hell" or retweeting someone saying the cavalry's coming. And this is the game that we see played, particularly with the Democratic Party over and over. When there is an act of violence that ends up being directed at Democrats, the argument is always, we must call out right-wing rhetoric. For example, when Congressman Gifford got shot, Bernie Sanders sent out a fundraising memo saying, is it even safe to be a Democrat walking down the street anymore? The right-wing rhetoric must end, blah, blah, blah. But then when a Bernie Sanders supporter shot Steve Scalise, him and Nancy Pelosi and all the Democrats, they were outraged when people said, well, did your rhetoric cause this? That guy shot Scalise because he believed the rhetoric about Obamacare killing thousands of people if it was removed. And they said, how dare you? How dare you even suggest it? Joe Biden himself, after a May 31st, 2020 insurrection, when left-wingers used, unlike January 6th, lethal weapons in the form of Molotov cocktails, burned down a guard station, injured 47 Secret Service agents in an attempt to break into the White House, so much so that Trump had to be moved to a bunker. A week later, Biden gave an interview mocking Trump, saying he needs to get out of his bunker. That's this current president of the United States mocked Donald Trump because violent lefties trying to assassinate him forced him to move to a bunker.
To the extent that anyone is engaged in mocking, right, violence and mocking attacks, I have condemned it. You moderated a debate where I condemned political violence overall on the Crucible. You were there. You heard me argue against that vociferously.
That is true, but listen, that is true. I did hear that, and I sided with you in that debate, even though I was moderator and I couldn't intervene. But it is what it is. Anyways, I'm not saying this about everyone. If you're on the left and you said, I think Trump's Hitler, I think he needs to be stopped at all costs, and someone goes out and commits the violence, I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm not. What I'm saying is the people that supported blaming people like Trump or Trump supporters, or they were happy that people that tweeted things out after January 6th were investigated by the FBI, they shouldn't be held to my standard. My standard is, of course you shouldn't be looked at with suspicion because of that shit. They should be held to their own standard. And if your standard wasn't that, Wick, I applaud you. But that was the standard of Joe Biden. That was the standard of the Democratic Party. They blamed Trump's rhetoric. That was the standard of Chuck Schumer, who said that Trump's rhetoric was responsible for violence. But when he said Kavanaugh would reap the whirlwind and there was an assassination attempt on Kavanaugh, all of a sudden the standards changed. Until these double standards stop and the hyperbolic people that control most of our narrative in these institutions, particularly in the Democratic Party, can continue to say that their opponents are the most evil people in the world, that we need to stop them at all costs.
Or that they're coming for your children, right? And so you need to
the transes are coming for your children.
Yeah, like,
absolutely.
look, this is why the rule here is we're not going to engage in
it's
the
a joke.
what about
It's a joke. It's a joke, Rob. It's a joke what you're saying. Because Trump literally has campaign ads saying that that Joe Biden was a communist.
Okay, enough.
I get a pursuit of knowledge. I wonder why I blocked you. So yeah. Anyways, I know you're celebrating today.
Because you can't listen to me.
What I'm saying is that if we're going to allow that rhetoric, which is fine, it's probably not the best thing, but it's fine legally. But only one side is treated as criminal and responsible, which is constantly the case. Trump's kicked off the ballot. January 6th people that weren't even there or that were completely peaceful are investigated. People that are on the right are blamed constantly by these institutions for their rhetoric. But when it's the left's rhetoric, when they're saying this shit, show me one prominent person, FBI, politician, media person, whatever, that called out Joe Biden for mocking Trump for being moved to a bunker. Show me one.
I can show you one that you mentioned at the beginning of this rant that received consequences for his statement of violence. He was forced to resign, right? Who was the guy? It was in Pennsylvania.
I'm talking prominent politicians and prominent figures that do this. Yes, a guy that came out and went even further and said, you'll have to kill people. That's a different level. If Trump's I'll ask your opinion, Wick.
No, that's a good point, Rob, because the only side that you support, the people that you support, and Trump,
okay, like, I don't want to, we can have a debate panel later, but today is not, okay. Ask your question.
Just ask you a question real quick, Wick.
Real quick, but then we're gonna move off this.
If you're a person that said that Trump should be held responsible for a tweet that said fight like hell and then violence occurred, based on that same standard, should Joe Biden be held accountable for telling fundraisers a couple weeks ago that a bullseye needs to be put on Trump?
No, of course not.
Wait, so if the standard, I'm not saying according to you.
I've always argued against stochastic terrorism. I have panels we can link you where against that whole concept.
Let me ask the question again.
Please.
If you were a person whose standard was Trump should be held accountable for saying fight like hell, shouldn't that person's standard also mean that Biden should be held accountable for saying a bullseye should be put on Trump?
Yes, and you should hold him accountable at the ballot box.
Well, that's Biden.
So here's the thing. This whole idea of holding the other side of... We talked about this before you came on a little bit. This whole idea of we need to hold the other side of accountable is part of the reason, right, that when you say that, you have to be clear of how. One of the problems with this is when I say we need to hold Trump accountable for what he's done, and I think that he should be punished accordingly in a trial with Again, law and order. Unfortunately, if you don't specify how, people will assume how. And so I would agree with you during the first part of your speech there that we need to go out as influencers, as streamers, as content creators, and be very specific about how we do not condone violence in any form, right? It's never okay to take violent action against your political opponents. It's just not okay. You are not part of our party. You are not part of our group. We will wash our hands of you and we will excise you. I agree with that.
Lock him up.
But,
Lock her up.
But, right? I don't think that we could. I think that it is important to still be able to call out things that you do see as a danger. Like, so if Biden, right, said some shit about, like, we need to put a target on Trump, obviously everyone here knows that wasn't him actually calling for him to be killed. Can we acknowledge that no one seriously thinks that?
Of course. And I'll go a step further. Can we all acknowledge when Trump said fight like hell, he didn't mean go?
Yeah, we always, every person here in every citizen in the United States completely puts Trump on a curve. Trump is completely able to do whatever the fuck he wants because he is a narcissist and he's fucking hilarious about it. Listen to me. I'm not done. Rob, you just went a whole diatribe. Please. So my point is that Trump is able to absolutely be graded on a curve when he says to a political opponent on a debate stage, you'd be in jail if I was president.
This is why I want to.
Is that okay?
Okay, stop.
No,
both
that's
of you,
okay.
both of you, you stop. We can have this debate another day. We're not here to talk about this today.
I'm sorry, but it's so difficult. Because Rob is 100% correct. Rob is 100% correct. Absolutely, political violence in any aspect, from the right or left,
and this is why I said I'm going to interrupt you guys when we have actual news here. So according to CNN from a minute ago, there are actually two. There's 2 dead, the shooter and the rally attendee, and there are 2 who are in critical condition right now, who are critically injured. So not just one that we thought, but there are 2. I've been given pictures of the supposed location that the shooter was shooting from. It looks like it was on a building a few.
I gave you the video.
A couple hundred yards away.
So it's about 40 minutes where I live. And I've been there. You can see that. There's even a photo you can see. Trump's teleprompter is in the footage of the picture from, like, basically eye level. You can see the teleprompter in the one shot of the roof. Which, I mean, there's going to be some significant questions about failures from law enforcement and Secret Service. I saw an interview on the BBC where a gentleman was saying he tried to flag down police for 5 minutes because he saw the guy army crawl onto the roof with a rifle and kept telling the police, there's a guy up there with a gun. There's a guy with a gun. So there's going to be significant questions. But I do have to go. I'll just say this. The only point I was trying to make there is just saying, I agree with you, Wick. And this is what is such a source of frustration with me. Of course, when I say hold people accountable, we all hold people accountable in our own ways. Don't listen to them. Say they're sacks of shit. Don't vote for them. That shit's all good. The problem I had is I could sit here and be completely reasonable and say, of course Joe Biden didn't mean, from the bottom of my heart, I'm not just saying this to sound reasonable, Joe Biden clearly didn't mean he wanted violence like this to occur to Trump when he said put a bullseye, right? But the problem is, like, we actually used lawfare to go after Trump when he said fight like hell. And even you see in Pursuit of Knowledge, he couldn't answer that question. As quick as I could say, of course, that's not what Biden meant.
I can't answer it because we're going to talk about another debate panel. We literally said that.
You could have just said yes.
Okay.
Right?
To be fair, you tried. You tried. Just to be fair, Pursuit, you did try.
The point I'm trying to make, though, is that it's not, all I'm saying is, not you, Wick, because I've heard you in these debates, but the people that are quick to claim stochastic terrorism, to blame rhetoric from the other side, something shitty will happen from some lunatic on your side at some point. And you don't want to put yourself in a position where you have to be a fucking hypocrite, because we're all talking about shit we believe and shit that could be really dark. And so I do think that the one hand, we do have to look at ourselves and say, how can we make the message more hopeful for people and ensure that people aren't going out that are listening to us and becoming extreme? I try to do that all the time, and I hope everyone who streams does that. But the other thing is, we should try to not blame others and say their rhetoric's responsible for this, because you don't want that same shit brought back on you. And maybe it's because I'm biased, because I'm a Trump supporter or right winger. I see that shit happen all the time to Trump and Trump supporters in ways that are so far beyond when the pendulum swings the other way. So if there's two things that could be taken away tonight, it's like, understand that we all have to pray for everyone's safety. Don't engage in violence. Don't become radical. But also, don't try to lump everyone in on the other side when someone on their side does something radical, because you won't like the feeling when some fucking lunatic on your side does something.
So I made a tweet last night, right, that everyone who's been wanting a candidate to get out there and fight has one in Joe Biden. Let's go, Joe. And I made a little picture of him. And then someone's like tweeting me below, like, "Oh, this didn't age well. How dare you?" Right? Like, oh god.
But you can't blame them when, again, like, we're just little shit streamers, right? At the end of the day, we don't have that. I think we're all great. We're the best, right? But we don't have big pull. Like, the state of Colorado tried to keep Trump off the fucking ballot in part for a tweet very similar to that. And
it wasn't
so
just well, that's a problem. It's just not in part. There's many reasons why. It's not just one tweet, Rob.
No. That's
but you're not. I know you're not
That
gonna. I'm not.
no,
that's a whole
that's-
another can of worms. I know. We can't even.
Okay,
go into it.
hold on. Rob has to go. Let him finish quickly, and then I want other people in.
The part is that's part of the evidence that was used. And when you look to the evidence, because what was the evidence? He was, quote, engaged in an insurrection. And that was the evidence they used. His tweets, his messaging. And they even brought in an expert to say when he said, go be peaceful, actually a language expert said that was code for him telling them to be violent. It was ridiculous on its face. And even if you think that he did bad in many other ways, well, he should have called the FBI, should have done this and that. The fact that it was used as evidence in a trial that successfully got his name removed from a ballot and had to be appealed is nonsensical. And I'm just saying, the Democrats wouldn't like if that standard's applied the other way. I would think it would be outrageous.
It's always what about Democrats? I understand.
Dude,
okay.
Trump just got shot, and your argument when I came on, I could hear you was like, "But what about the right wingers?" And Trump just got shot. That's your
I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I absolutely did not do that.
You have
no.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm going to have to go with
Right.
Rob on this one. You and Justice were both doing this, and Artemis
you
was to a much smaller extent. And I've been trying to tamp down on this from almost everyone on the call, except for maybe Beckett and the guy who was giving me money, and then I let him on my stream, and then he stopped giving me money.
He's here to listen in person. He's having
I'm so sorry.
Anyway, stay safe,
I'm
everyone.
so sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
Rob,
end this.
Rob, I'm glad you're safe.
Safe,
Rob, I'm glad you're safe. I hope everyone that you know I hope you didn't have any friends at the rally. I hope everyone in your circle is
safe. I
safe.
had probably a dozen or so friends that were there. I was going to be there, but I actually worked tonight.
Well, I hope they're safe.
Glad
is what I'm
you're
saying.
Safe, yeah.
Stay safe.
And I feel the same with all of you.
Yeah,
and please, the only audience, Wick's audience isn't going to listen to me. I'm imploring you, if there's a right winger listening, because I know what people are feeling. Don't fucking do anything stupid. It's okay. Life is going to go on. It's okay. Please don't do anything unhinged. Not because I'm worried about my side losing, because it's fucking wrong. And it needs to stop somewhere. And you can't, if it's not going to end well for you and your family, man. Don't even be saying big. I had to kick someone off my chat for saying big man shit. Don't say it. Don't even joke about it, because you might get a knock at your door from law enforcement. It could fuck up your entire life. So you guys take it easy. Wick, I agree with what you're doing, trying to tamp people down. I'll come on and yell at you all some other day.
Yeah, we will fight another day.
Love you. I do love you.
Good luck. Bye-bye, Rob.
Hold on, Rob. Hold on. Before you go, Rob. Is it okay if Wick was allowed to clip your first answer about nonviolence?
Yeah, you could clip anything I ever do, especially on your channel, Wick. You could use
because that would probably be better as a message out to right wing people. To be more.
What I would like
acceptable.
actually, if I had an editor, right, like what I and if someone out there could do it, from people on the right and the left today who have given such statements, I'd like to make it like a collage of people from all sides who have argued before and making calls to just stop. Right.
Yep.
That'd be great.
Base.
Anyway, Rob.
All right, hey, you guys take it easy. Stay safe, everyone.
Hey, bye-bye.
Stay safe.
Bye, Rob.
Okay. New people. I want to give new people a chance to have their say since we're doing this.
Howdy.
Hi, what do you got for us?
So I was just the guy earlier who was talking about Hassan, and then also now looking at Destiny's Twitter is just like, I'm not sure what's going on with these people who are not directly, but aren't directly coming out against it. Destiny just posted that he was conflicted about the shooting.
Post link.
Yeah, hold on.
It's his most recent message on Twitter.
It's
Yeah.
51 minutes. He says, I'm honestly conflicted on how I feel about the shooting, but we'll chat about it on stream tomorrow.
He made a
Yeah.
clarification. His clarification is his
I
next
haven't
tweet
seen
is,
it.
let me clarify. When I say conflicted, what I mean is that I lean towards seeing it as a natural extension of the thing Trump and the MAGA kids support. So I don't think as much as sympathy about the attempt enough to chastise people
Destiny's dead
celebrating.
wrong here, right? Destiny's dead wrong. I know
Yeah.
he's conflicted,
Yep.
right? But this isn't, again, I hate this, and I hate when people do this. This isn't a time to be like, well, look at what the other side did, and this is why. Stop that shit. All of you,
Yeah.
stop. Destiny, if you're listening, and you're probably not, stop that shit. Stop it.
All right.
Anyway.
So I want to point out that, remember what I told you? I denounce everything, but I understand the reasoning behind it. It was what I was worried about these people doing. There was the example. This is the natural course of events.
I didn't fucking clip it. But because it was just kind of the general vibe. But what I was talking about earlier with Hassan was he's repeated over and over talking about it being, oh, this is the boilerplate message. Oh, this is the boilerplate message, and then going through and then talking about one of the lines was, oh, all Republicans want to, and all the people at these rallies were talking about how they want to lock minorities up in concentration camps. And he never directly said he was okay with it, but
I mean, Hassan is the same guy that tweeted out the same gunshot. The gun that was
the
used
Japanese
against,
thing, yeah.
yeah. Like he obviously he's an extremist. We know this. He's a absolute communist, Marxist Leninist.
Actually,
and
can I?
It's
can I
about
disagree?
it's about revolution to them.
Actually,
right?
I completely disagree with you. Hassan's a
How?
fucking grifter. Because Hassan's a grifter. Hassan doesn't believe any of this shit. He doesn't. He doesn't believe any of it. It is just.
I think at this point,
and views.
I think at this point,
because like
he has sacrificed too much of his actual following for some of the crazy shit he said, and noticed the dips in followers that he's had for him to actually be a grifter. I don't think
Beckett. What liberal
He's not a tanky
viewpoint?
dude.
Hold on.
Fucking
Yeah, exactly. Thank you,
Oh.
non-smoker. You're a true tanky. You understand this.
Exactly. He's not
I
a
know.
fucking tanky, dude.
I understand
Shut the fuck up.
he's not a fucking true tanky, because everybody shit tests themselves in the extreme left, obviously, because you guys dissect yourselves between a Marxist Leninist and a Maoist fucking Trotsky. Okay, I get it. It's all theory to you, but at the same time, in what world? Tell me, what world has Hassan ever said a liberal, and I mean, omni-liberal, destiny, democratic stream viewpoint, ever has he agreed with those things? He doesn't.
I'm not saying he agrees
Dude,
with him.
it's
He's
part of his
human.
branding.
Like, do you think Tim Pool genuinely believes half the things he says?
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
How much?
To be clear,
I got a question. Hold on. Can we? I got a question. Beckett, how much Tim Pool have you watched?
A lot. And I've spoken to people who've known him personally and dug into his full history from going way back to.
So it's all for money, then? Is that what you're saying?
Largely, if you look at Paul,
Yes.
the dude fucking pulled the company he owned away from his friends and family while they were away. Yes, if you look at his history and actually where he's moved through media, there are linchpin moments where Paul goes more and more right and makes more and more fucking money. Yeah, obviously, and that's not just true.
He wouldn't vote for those policies that he's trying to promote.
He wouldn't. He doesn't want them fully enact. He doesn't care. Actually, is the truth for people like Tim Pool. I don't think people like Paul or Hassan care. They know the system doesn't change because, again, Hassan makes millions, huge, just vast amounts of money. But his concerns are to do with his own aggrandizement and celebrity, and it's not even a huge hit against him. That's true of huge amounts of people. It's true of all people.
I'm just gonna point this out. I think this is couched in the whatever political opinion you guys have of how the world works, and then that's what's coloring your perception of Tim Pool. I've seen Tim Pool over the last 10 years
slowly trend more and more right. And it's more and more like he went from the 2020 election not being stolen and the lie to now thinking, oh, the fix is in. And I think it's more and more because of his viewpoint is shifting right, more so than him being a grifter. Because he could be just retarded.
Okay, sure. I mean, again, I'm not here to
That's
fucking like debate you to death on like Tim Pool or
Yeah. I'm just saying is that
I don't think they're true believers the way I would accuse like Vosh of being a true believer. And I don't think that they're. I don't think.
Oh my God,
I'm going to be real with you. I don't
believing in shit.
I don't know if this matters.
Yeah, it probably doesn't. But actually, from the sides of what talking about radicalization, there's like a pretty like strong trend that you can see on people like who were right wing creators back in 2016, where they seem to segment off sections of their audience and become more and more extreme because those people will give them more money. And you can see this with like particular people who I'd accuse of grifting. But again, they're incentivized to come up with these more and more extreme takes.
Well, then why don't people like non-smoker like make millions of dollars on streaming instead? Like if Hassan's the grifter, I feel like non-smoker, the true tanky, right? Like non-smoker,
That's
like wouldn't you be able to do?
Oh, that's because socialism isn't actually profitable.
Yeah. So I'm going to point out that Tim Pool is actually a moderating force, as he brings a lot of different opinions onto his shows.
Sure, but he constantly talks about the Civil War.
Yes, but that's. I mean, does he believe it or not? That's the question.
Okay, I don't think Tim
Pool believes
it. Whether he believes it or not, I don't think Tim Pool is a moderating force.
We can never figure that out.
Okay, well, I've got a question. I've got a question here around stuff like this. Then, do you think the fact that places like TYT have become more extreme over time since the 2016 election, even for them, because they've talked about the Civil War, the need to arm yourself, the fact that that's a constant rhetoric, and TYT is probably the largest online left-wing alt media show, so that's clearly become more extreme. Now, I wouldn't accuse Cenk of being a grifter.
Okay, gang,
do you
just housekeeping real quick. I'll let you continue. I'm gonna get something to eat real quick. Don't say anything terrible while I'm gone. I'll be right back, but continue.
Okay.
I'll keep it in order, Wick.
Do you think that's had a hugely detrimental effect?
I actually think the way TYT is going now, as the dam is broken, after what was it? What's her name? What's the co-host's name again?
Anna Kasparian.
Anna. I almost said Anita for some reason. I don't know why. But she's actually shifted more right now after being affected by the policies that she was advocating before.
Yeah,
I mean, so that's why I don't really know.
So
yeah,
I mean, there's always changes over time.
Yeah,
but like, it doesn't change the fact that they have given off fairly.
Can I
extreme
ask
rhetoric
a question?
What do you got,
guys,
non-smoker?
I'm a
What do you
little
got?
out of the loop.
Sure.
Was anybody apprehended?
Dead.
Yeah,
yeah, he got deleted.
Yeah, he got counter sniped almost immediately.
Yeah.
Got it. Is there any info on like motive? I mean, I know it's really early now. Like,
I mean, trying to
we have
delete
no
the
idea
president
who, and
or
we have
future
no
president.
idea why.
What they're gonna do is
Did they catch you, non-smoker?
I've seen reports of I've seen reports that it was a 22 long rifle.
That makes sense. Okay. Because it had 22 at that range, and with the wind and everything, was going to probably throw it off. They're not very accurate.
Yeah, I mean that's a fine. It's a decently easy shot for someone who's practiced hunting.
Are we all in agreement here that like there's just 0% chance Trump loses the election? Like,
yeah, we're not talking about that. Yeah, we're not talking.
Look, a week is a long time in politics.
Don't kill me. Kill me.
Like,
Don't try to assassinate me, non-smoker. But yes,
I'm just saying, like,
that was the first
chance
thing.
this fucking guy loses. No
chance. And you know what would really be the end of it all if it was an illegal immigrant that did it.
Oh,
right?
Fuck! That I would actually call
if that was it, then we're done. We're done.
Hold on. I'm gonna phrase this: if it comes out a legal immigrant tried to do it, I would claim false flag, just because that would be some fucking over the top shit. I can't. That would be some script. That'd be some script writing shit that I couldn't even.
That was a joke. That was a joke, by the way.
I know. I'm just saying. I will come out in support of Biden at that point.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, even if it had been, even then, there's still 0% chance that it was false flag, and the people that are going through with the false flag shit that are getting way more attention than I thought they would online is actually insane.
Oh, it's
That's a
definitely.
fun narrative.
I am not surprised.
I haven't, well, I don't know about fortunately or unfortunately, but I haven't really been following Twitter much. I keep looking at it, and I see things that make me angry, and so I stop looking at it just for the sake of the show.
You need to. It's probably something
That's
you're
every
probably
day
gonna
on
have to come
Twitter,
back
bro.
to.
Based.
Probably not
based,
tomorrow,
based,
but probably Monday.
based.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just something that's like, I don't know. Can I just say for a moment, and well, it's my show, and yes, I can, because none of you will stop me.
Obviously.
Yeah, I'm incredibly sad for the country right now. I think this is just incredibly sad. Two people, well, one person dead. Well, two people dead, the shooter, but one person dead who was just trying to exercise their First Amendment right, go to a rally, go rah, rah, rah for their team, even though... and then two others who are critically injured who might die because all they wanted to do was go to a fucking rally. And all because some moron, some evil person, I'll call them evil. So
Absolutely.
an evil man or woman, it could be a woman too, who knows, I don't know.
We're gender neutral here.
Yeah, decided that they wanted to try to assassinate their political opponent. And again, I don't know if this was motivated by the left or someone Fuentes-like on the right who thought Trump had abandoned their values. Maybe it was someone who thought Trump was giving too much money to Israel, right? We don't know. We have no idea. But whoever did it has just disgraced this nation. It's a disgrace that's happened on our soil, and it should not happen. And I am sad that we are in a space where we have to talk about it. And I wish... Look, I want to argue with people about whether or not Biden should drop out. That was what I was arguing about, and I hated it. And I kept thinking to myself, I wish we had something else to talk about but this monkey paw curls, okay? And now we are talking about something that just makes me incredibly sad and incredibly worried about the fate of our nation, because this is an inflection point. This is a catalyst event.
And there was like an actually good thing with Trump to talk about today, in that he went publicly against Project 2025 and said, like, this shit is insane. That was this morning.
Yeah. No.
I
think that people. I think what the problem is that people don't understand is that this is all before the convention, so it might as well not happen realistically. People won't remember it generally.
No.
No, this is
Bro,
going to
I'm
be
sorry. There's no way.
Get him out. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. He's fucking pulling our leg here. He's bullshitting.
I'm going to listen to the British first about American politics. Got it. Anyway.
No. I mean, okay, hold on. You came in here earlier saying, I've got political science degrees and stuff. I don't have to flex my credentials.
Yeah, I'm also elected in the United States of America. Eat shit.
Okay,
anyway,
but that's fine. That's fine. But like, you want to, like, I'm sorry, you want to turn around and say that, like,
apology
Trump
accepted.
getting shot at isn't going to have any impact on the election?
No. And here's why. Right? It's because these events, generally only come into play around October. That's when most Americans tune into the election.
Hold on. You understand?
That's when most Americans. Yes.
You understand that this is not a normal political event. If it was any other political event, I would agree with you that, okay, yeah, we have very short memories.
Like the debate.
That politics is the
this was
eternal
some
present.
random Hunter
right?
Biden
I
scandal,
understand,
or
but this is
online
transcendental. Hold on, stop. Let me finish.
No,
Hold on. Let me stop. Let me finish. This is a transcendental event. It is not normal by any means, nor should it be, right? And I don't think you're arguing for that. But this is such an outlier of an event that it absolutely is going to, not only for this election, but it's going to shape American politics for a while.
It's going to be in ads. It will be in Trump. It will be in Trump ads. It will be.
Let him tell.
Let
Let him hear what he has to say. Go ahead.
Right. So no, these things, unfortunately, and this is what we have to kind of get used to or what we've gotten used to as Americans, is through the mass media, we've gotten used to shootings happening. Now, the political nature of it is kind of here nor there. We kind of just get over it. Americans kind of forget about this stuff generally and largely in about a month. The popular discussion moves on from this. And this is the big thing. The conventions haven't happened yet. Anything that happens before the convention might as well not have happened.
What do you think they're going to be talking about at the Republican convention?
They're going to talk about it, but Americans probably won't even care at that point.
No shot.
They care
No
about
shot.
trans
I will
kids.
bet you. Hold on.
They care
No.
about
I'll put
trans
money on this.
kids.
I'll put money on
A
this.
0.00000% of the population. That's what's being talked about in political ads.
I'm going to put money on this right now with you, buddy.
I'm sorry.
Justice.
This is a
Stop.
great bet.
$100 says that you're wrong. $100 says that it's going to be a huge thing that has play in the November election. I will bet you on stream right now $100 that that's the case.
Hold on, no. I'm gonna do 1,000. Okay.
I'm too rich for my blood. Okay, but
It also
because
puts
I have a lot of
the
money.
advertising game in like an awkward spot, right? Where
Trump
gets to like they get to play these ads, but if you play any ads that are attacking Trump and attacking him on the anti-democracy stuff too aggressively, then that will also possibly play into it even.
That's actually really
forgetting about.
Yeah,
Americans
like I feel like it kind of takes the teeth out of a lot of that, which to a certain degree it should not. However,
hold on.
It's also reasonable that people see it that way. Even though like I think it should not. I understand how people would see it that way.
Okay, here's the issue. Hold on, Justin.
Fuck about gun violence.
All of you can stop for a moment. $5 from cameraman
Yes, it is.
502 to say, will anyone recognize we have been tolerating political violence for a while? Antifa, January 6th, the pro-Hamas rallies, we should not have tolerated it. Cameraman 502, you are correct. We should not. You are just correct.
I would agree. I mean, the pro-Hamas rallies did not have violence. There were protests. As far as I recognize, as far as I know, there wasn't.
I saw a video of
I
New York
remember
City.
I do remember the one in Los Angeles, and Wiki, you were talking about it.
Yeah.
I do remember there was violence there, and you were obviously denouncing it. I don't think any deaths or anything like that happened. And we should obviously denounce any sort of violence that happens from those things. But if they are
calls
peaceful,
to violence, or calls
we
to
have,
violence.
if they're calls of violence, that's obviously denounceable. But any sort of protest, that is our First Amendment right. And you know, to your donator, absolutely correct. But also we have to recognize we do have a First Amendment right to protest, which is sacred to this country.
Well, let's just quickly on the other side as well, because this claim of no one's going to care. We like existed in a period in like during like the 2020s with BLM where there were protests all the time, and Artemis, when I came on, I remember the headline "Fiery but Peaceful," and that became normalized within the media. You are still talking about Jan 6th because it is a linchpin moment. It's not just another protest. It's not just another riot. It has wider impacts. You can say, well, we get used to shootings. This isn't just a shooting.
Yes, it's a historical moment.
Yeah, you're right.
He's political science brained, okay? He's got a degree, and he looks at the stats way too long.
The real world. Listen, listen, I'm in the same state as Sandy Hook, right? 27 dead kids. We got over that in a month. No one gave a fuck after that.
Oh, that's been plenty to the news. What are you talking about? The real point of Alex Jones' career, his whole life was destroyed because of his statements.
100%. They don't give a fuck. Americans get over gun violence faster than anything else.
I know what you're saying, but it matters who. Obviously, kids do matter, but at the same time, no one is clamoring for the Second Amendment right to be taken out because of the shooting, correct? No one's talking about that. What we're talking about is getting rid of assassination attempts against any political leader, right? We're not talking about getting rid of the Second Amendment. Okay, it's a very different spectrum that you're trying to argue on with Sandy Hook.
No,
it's
I'm
very
not.
different.
I'm arguing. First of all, Donald Trump isn't the first presidential candidate to be shot.
Obviously,
yes, we still discussed the other ones.
What the fuck? What?
We still discussed the other ones.
I literally started this by talking about it as a Teddy moment. It's
I agree with Beckett. Absolutely.
Well,
Right.
anyways,
I know, right?
I want to provide
This guy
a
broke
response
out
to
about
why this is important rather than us continuing down the rabbit hole of why it's unimportant.
Oh, I'm having fun, TK.
Okay,
Hold on. I want to get to argue about counterterrorism.
I want to
for
know,
once.
Just Ice, which political opponent, what political candidate had an assassination attempt and lost?
Well, Willie McKinley. Boom, gotcha.
He lost after his. Wait, didn't he die?
I don't think Trump's guaranteed to win. I think his
He
odds
didn't run
are
for
good.
president. He wasn't able to run for president, right?
You fucking idiot! I said attempt. You fucking retard! I said attempt. Holy shit! Do you not listen? Hello, I said attempt.
It was
not just that they were successful.
Here we are.
Successful
Here we are. Not
okay,
2 hours
sorry,
in.
political
not 2 hours
silence.
in, and the left is already eating itself.
Hold on.
Justice, hold on. What political person that was almost killed, not fully dead, and then lost?
But they didn't. Okay, so the reason why Reagan won wasn't because he was.
I'm hearing a lot of cope. I'm hearing a lot of cope.
Oh, okay. You don't want an answer. You just want to talk. Got it.
No, I don't want to hear about Reagan. Reagan won. Tell me about
gang,
somebody that lost.
I have been eating, and so I've been unable to kind of get in here because I'm hungry. Right? I didn't make dinner before this. So I got some Chex Mix. Okay, so I didn't have time. So we're doing the best I can. Destiny made some. They're not good tweets.
I warned you.
Read them.
I have warned you.
I'm actually kind of disappointed in him a little bit. Not gonna lie.
I am.
This was an inevitability.
One of the best things I liked about watching him was that he frequently came out and said political violence is never okay.
Jesus Christ!
To be clear, he hasn't condoned
can I read
it.
Can
But
I
he
read
has
it?
been making a joke about it. Let me read the joke.
It is a joke. It's a good joke.
And you can call me soy all you like, but I think that joking about these kind of things right now is not okay. It really isn't. It doesn't help, right? And it's only going to further our political divide. Like I came out against it when people were joking about the Queen's death, right? You're welcome, Beckett, right? And other incidences, right? Like to joke about this kind of thing. But here's what Destiny says. He says, if we learned anything today, I hope it's realizing the importance of principles I've stressed many times on stream before. Having a firearm means absolutely nothing if you don't spend time at the range practicing with it. That is
That's a good one.
I mean,
and that was 11 minutes ago.
It's just like, yeah, haha.
But and then immediately after making jokes about
and like
Supreme Court decision.
We are dunking. We are dunking on people like Hassan and other extremists, right, who are making similar jokes like, haha, I'm just sad he missed. We just talked about holding our own side accountable. And like, what am I going to do to Destiny, right? But I quote tweeted him. I absolutely condemn him. I think he's wrong for doing this. I think it's immoral. You guys can clip it and send it to him. I don't care, right? But I don't think he's like beyond. I don't think that means he's an evil person, to be clear. But there's not the time, brother.
I want to get in here before you guys do anything else. Please. I want to point out that pursuit of knowledge. This is like one of the times where I can just sit back and just agree with you on everything you're saying that doesn't sound unhinged, because shit's funny right now. That this guy is so fucking out of touch that he thinks that people will forget that somebody tried to just assassinate the leading frontrunner of a fucking presidential election.
Oh no, I didn't say that.
Artemis, you are another animal, though. Let's be honest. Like you remember the craziest shit, the things that you tweet. Oh my God, you must spend so much time deep in the archives. Every time you tweet something, to Dev,
my memory is good.
All I see is you replying to Dev or quote tweeting something to Dev, and it's full of just like all I remember, all I can see is like Gandalf in the library of fucking reading the scrolls of the ancient text in Elvish language to dissect. The economy is going to read this way because that's every time you tweet something, Artemis, and that's why we do agree on these things.
Yeah,
that justice is absolutely wrong.
Yes. So to be clear, before you do that,
everyone thought Biden was going to drop out like 2 weeks after his debate performance. Still hasn't happened. All those people are now saying Trump's going to win. I guess they're going to be wrong about that. But hey,
he hasn't dropped out yet. But the DNC is going to remove him.
No, they're not.
I would
Hold on,
disagree with
Destiny
that, yeah.
responded to me. Okay.
Oh shit, let's hear it.
Quote tweets
God.
me. LOL. I'm
Live
sorry, but soy raging out over this when conservatives have been unhinged for the past 8 years is beyond fucking stupid. I'm way, way, way the fuck over it. Remember all the conservative dipshits talking about principles today who have joked about Pelosi's husband getting beaten or celebrated all kinds of violence against minorities or progressives or other people they considered undesirable? I'm way, way, way the fuck over it at this point. They reap what they sow. I'm here to watch the harvest. Should I pull a Destiny and quote tweet him? Like, I'm streaming right now, buddy, if you want to come on.
Yes, Wick, Wick, and that's what I was trying to say
I'll
that
kick it all off,
day.
to be clear.
I'm sorry that I pissed you off. I pissed you guys off earlier because I am absolutely, and I'm so sad that I can't have that discussion with Rob Noor about statistic terrorism, because that's the reason why he blocked me. Because the last time I went on his stream and I talked to him for an hour and a half, talking about how much all he does is talk about the world is evil, the FBI is bad, America bad, we're in a bad place, we need to destroy everything. And then he sits there and says, don't do political violence, guys, don't do that.
Oh, hey, hold on. Before
He doesn't give any solutions. And
Oh.
and I can't even go into that because all he does is then mute me, block me, and not even engage with any sort of substantial talking about what solutions do you have, Rob? And I know, Wick, I agree that this is not the time or place for that. But at the same time, I do agree.
I'm gonna keep doing it.
I am so angry when he comes on and he says, "Oh, I'm not trying to be a successfor terrorist." And he literally, if you watch a Rob Noor stream, just look at any past one in the last week, or last 2 years. I don't care. Pick one. You will find all lies about Hunter Biden, how the Democrats are evil, how the FBI is rigged, how every sort of evil thing under the sun because institutions are bad on their principal nature, and how he wants to get rid of all these institutions. What's the solution, Rob?
Are we done attacking people who aren't here?
I'm sorry. I had, because I do agree with Destiny on a lot of
Yeah,
things.
that's a little.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
If you're gonna go off, at least invite him
will
back
say
on.
this.
Like, I'll go off at Destiny, but he's welcome. I'll stop my
I will say
by
this
Twitch
to, like,
stream
just
and bring him on.
I tried to get into that, Wick,
No.
but you didn't want me to.
All
And I
right,
understand why. I understand why.
I will say this. I mean, like, the first things that got tweeted out on the commentary side were stuff about, oh, well, why would Boogie do this? Because it's like tying into the current stuff and a load of things there. I mean, I've seen the Sam Hyde post. I think the first
I
post
expect
out of
that.
like our channel Twitter
agree.
was like a video like kind of joking. Like, people are going to deal with this in different ways, and it's not like Destiny is shy about that. So while I get it, because I think his tweet surprised me for one reason. It's because he's like been taking a lot of the politics stuff very seriously recently, and he's been positioning himself as quite a serious political figure again. So I mean, it's an interesting one there, but I can also understand like his viewpoint of going, fuck it, it's happened now. I mean, how much effect does Destiny even have, right?
Well, you should absolutely quote him and say, "I'm streaming right now."
I did.
Yeah, he's already done
I
that.
did that. I DM'd him. If he shows up, just to be clear, so no one's got their butthurt feelings.
You'll be kicked.
I'm just gonna let you guys
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
If that happens,
hold on.
I don't even know if he will.
Hold on. Before that happens, Short Fat Talker's like, don't kick Artemis, because he's been wanting me to debate Destiny. I keep telling.
I won't kick you if SFO joins as well.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that I keep telling Dev is that I don't need to debate Destiny because he's doing everything I would want him to do, which is fuck everything into the ground.
So anyway,
he might just not be available to stream. I don't know.
That's fine.
I don't know his schedule, but
he's probably traveling. Which is why this happened.
Because no, hold on. Let me
I think
address
Maine.
this. Let me address this idea, right? That the other side did it, and so I'm tired of being held to a different standard. I'm tired of them being able to do it, but I can't do it, and they're hypocrites. They're always going to engage in bad behavior, so why shouldn't we? And I think that is one of those things that is radicalizing us as a nation, right? Is we have decided, well, Destiny he could jump backstage. I will stop the Twitch stream right now. I will stop the Twitch stream. He could jump backstage, and he's in my Discord. He could do that.
Oh, what?
Yes, he could do that. But I don't know, some
Right,
people are saying, I will stop the Twitch stream.
Actually,
Don't worry. Sorry,
Well,
Twitch.
Wick.
In fact, I'll do that
wasn't my
now. I'm
argument.
stopping the Twitch stream now. I'm gonna give it to. I'm gonna stop the Twitch stream. Guys, go to my YouTube.
But
go to my
Wick,
YouTube.
I will say that
Wick, I
wasn't
wanted to
my
say one
argument.
I'm
The thing
arguing with
is that
Destiny again.
the radicalization we have to deal with is, well, partially in our mainstream political record, but also by the fact that our alternative media faces zero accountability for all the insane shit they say 24/7. I mean, whether it's from Candace Owens to fucking Tim Pool to Jordan Peterson
Okay,
to all
last
of
thing.
them.
I'm going to let you guys go. Destiny is coming in. He just responded to my DM.
Yep.
I love you all. I'm sorry cutting you all short. I'll talk to you guys
That's not
later.
what I said, Wick, but okay. We'll talk about it later.
We'll see if Short Fat Talker ever comes by.
Peace, Wick.
Oh, you're gonna get rid of me too?
All of you. Hey, you live. Can you hear me? Give it a minute, gang. He'll get here. If you're talking, you're not audible. Okay, we'll get this fixed somehow, gang. I don't know why the audio isn't working. Hey, would a call work better for you? It's worked before. I don't know why it's not working now. Well, maybe he's on a phone. Well, he's here, gang. Give it a second. Okay, is it working now? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Oh, there we are. We have an audible connection now. Can you hear me?
Oh, my shit's working. What's up?
Yeah. So, you made a tweet, and I'm feeling certain kind of way about it. Okay. I don't. Yeah, you can call me soy all you like, right? But just because the other side, like Trump, jokes about Pelosi's husband getting hammered by a guy with a hammer and things, just because that side engages in that kind of behavior and that kind of rhetoric and that kind of ha ha ha, we can joke about the bad things that happen to them, I don't think that makes it okay for us to turn around and do the same. And in fact, I think that's one of the reasons we are at this point that we are in this country.
No, I reject that. No,
Why
we
do you
need to.
reject it? Go
That
ahead.
needs to stop. The whole idea that, like, well, the reason why we're here is because liberals and the left just haven't cucked out enough. The reason why we're here, the reason why we don't have our Supreme Court justice, the reason why Trump has to get criminal immunity to survive his court case is because the left just isn't kind enough. Nah, I'm over it. I'm super over it. My only regret is that the guy didn't spend more time. Yeah, that's exactly what you're saying.
That is not what
You're
I'm
here.
saying.
Hold on. You're saying we're here right now because the left is like turning the temperature too much. No, we're here right now because Trump is fucking insane, because he has support from 90% of the conservatives in the Republican Party who are entirely un-American. Fuck them. Whatever happens, happens. I don't give a fuck. At this point, my only regret is that the guy didn't spend enough time practicing first. It is
Holy
insane how much conservatives get to set the fucking standard on all the conversation in this country. It's absolutely insane. We're supposed to jump up and feel sad that the guy who is one of the most divisive presidents in all of history got shot at? Fucking give me a break. Please give me a fucking break.
Okay, one person is dead who isn't Trump, right, who got shot out. Someone in the crowd that was just going to a rally who got fucking murked by this guy. And two others are in critical condition. I think it's okay to show a little empathy, don't you?
You're right. Hold on. I'm sorry. I didn't know somebody else died. What state was this in?
Pennsylvania, my state.
Swing state voter. Fuck you. Sorry, what?
Okay. This is the problem, right? It's not the only problem we have, but it's absolutely a problem when we think it's okay to joke about people getting fucking killed because they are political opponents, right? And it's a swing state voter. That's bullshit. And this idea that we see the other side as this enemy that cannot be redeemed, that it's okay to joke about violence with, it's okay to make these asinine statements, is one of the reasons that someone thought it was okay to take a shot at a contender for the presidency of the United States. We have opened up this Pandora box. We are lighting a fire that we will not be able to control. And it won't be just the people. The only the people who get burned won't just be the ones that we think deserve it. It's going to burn a whole lot of others. We're starting an inferno.
It's already burnt, dog. It's already burning. What are you talking
that
about?
That doesn't mean we throw wood on the fire and help it.
Fire. You're standing in a house on fire, and you're like, well, hold on, guys. Like, it might get pretty hot here if you actually turn the temperature up just a little bit. Listen, in the United States of America, no one citizen is greater than any other citizen. Donald Trump wanted absolute criminal immunity. I think this guy should get at least presumptive immunity until we've looked into a little bit, why it is he shot at him. Oh, shit, he's dead now, so I guess we can't. Or no, wait, who died? It was a voter instead? It wasn't the actual shooter? Who knows? Maybe the guy thought he was acting in his official capacity as some servant to the United States or something,
Look, here's the deal. We don't know what the motivation of the shooter was. I can't speculate on it. It could be someone on the left. It could be someone on the right, like a Fuentes type who thought Trump didn't go far enough, right? And that was betraying them. It could be a Hamas guy who's like, oh, look at Trump. He wants to help Israel too much. We don't know, and we could just speculate. But what I will say, right, is yes, just because you're correct with there's a fire burning right now, but that doesn't give us leave to throw more wood on it. What we should be instead is trying to tamp down, to turn the temperature down. And I understand that the other side is going to be assholes about this, who are going to make all these jokes, and that's okay. That's why they lost in 2020, because they went too extreme, right? And that's why they're going to continue to lose in the future, because they're the ones that everyone sees as the bad guys. So if we start to engage in that same type of rhetoric and that same type of behavior, people will not be able to see the difference between us and them, and we will lose that political edge. So even just from a strategic, not throwing morals out the window here, even from just a strategic point of view, it's a dead end. It's a way that it's a race to the bottom, and it's going to hurt us electorally, and we should stop doing that. Look, I get it, right? I get it. It's annoying.
Just to be clear, we didn't win 2020 because they went too extreme. We won 2020 because Trump fucked his handling of COVID up so bad that it motivated voters on the Biden side and it demotivated some voters on the Trump side. Don't forget, Trump got the second most amount of votes in all of U.S. presidential election history, okay? Only behind Biden in that election. So the idea that, they got too radical, they got too radical, they got too extreme, and it turned off voters is absolutely bullshit. No, it's not. Trump has only gotten more radical since that election, and he's polling better than he was last time. You think Trump is moderated?
No,
do you think Trump has gotten less radical?
Do you think he has less support?
Do you think that? So that's the issue. The issue is that the Democrats have gotten more radical.
Issue is bullshit too. This idea that there's only one issue that was because of this one single thing and this one single incident like COVID that was what cost us the election is bullshit. That contributed absolutely, but if it wasn't also for the extremism and rhetoric and the just dislikability of Trump, I don't think we would. We might have lost it. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't prove a negative. I can't go back in time, right? But when we come out to 2024 coming up, right? And so first of all, I think we just lose. I think this shooting that's ball game. I think we lose. So that shooter cost us the election. It's done, right? Have you seen some of these photos coming out of Trump with his fist in the fucking air and the American flag behind him and the Secret Service around him? That's ball game. We're done. So that shooter fucked us. He didn't shoot Trump, but he shot our chances in 2024.
I already told you. I thought he should have spent more time practicing first. I don't know what you want me to say.
Well, if he had, oh my God, if he had actually killed Trump, that would have been, I don't know if our nation, that would have been a monumental disaster. There would be sectarian violence in the streets at that point.
That would be crazy. What do you think they'd try to do? An insurrection? Holy shit. That would be wild.
Oh, you think January 6th was like an insurrection? It was. But imagine that going through the streets just in general across America. Imagine the 2020 riots, but it's right-wingers who actually do know how to shoot.
Yeah, okay? And you think that all the Trumples were just going to go home if they lost the next election?
Man, I don't know. But
okay,
I don't think
we should just keep living in the world of I don't know. While we're sitting in the corner, in our little cuck chair, watching the bull, fuck our country, okay? Fuck Lady Liberty going, I don't know if he's going to bust in her or not. I'm not sure. Well, let's just wait and find out. Well, Trump continues to turn the dial up on all of the rhetoric, while the conservatives continue to be absolutely fucking unhinged, while they continue to deny every single facet of reality, while they continue to move on a crash course in destroying this fucking country. At this point, like I said, I don't really give a fuck. You have a guy running for office whose only way out of criminal indictments that were charging him with essentially insurrection was to ask the Supreme Court for absolute criminal immunity for his actions, okay? I'm beyond giving a fuck at this point, all right? It's wild. It's unhinged. I'm sorry. I don't know what you want me to say.
Stop? Do you want them to lose?
I want it to stop, but like the problem is we don't have like a radical 5% in this country that's like setting us over the edge of oblivion. It's like 45% or 50% of the country, my dude.
One of the problems here is one of the reasons that Trump was so successful and got so many involved. And one of the things that has, I agree with you, there's a lot on the right who have gone unhinged, is because they can point to really real things that people have said and done where they feel like they are under attack. And what we have done is we have created this cycle, this circle, where we do this reciprocal radicalization of each other, where both sides point to the extremes of the other, the crazy of the other. And I'm with you, the right is way more crazy. I don't disagree. But what's happening is we are feeding that beast. And so when you make these tweets, and they might, look, I'm not saying that what you've done is destroyed the country with a fucking tweet. No, absolutely.
Here's the, okay, listen, I understand what you're saying about mutually turning the temperature up, but the Biden has been the most fucking lukewarm, milquetoast, uniting president that I could have ever fucking imagined, given the term that he came into. And the only thing that conservatives will see from Biden is a picture of him with a red background, claiming that he's screaming that all conservatives are fucking evil. That's the only impression that they have of him. Being nice and not turning up the temperature only works when the other side is perceiving that. But the right, the communicators, the pundits have all failed in their messaging, because you've got the entirety of the Daily Wire, all of Fox News, all of these political pundits are on their knees slurping up every fucking ounce of semen they can suck from Donald Trump's wilted fucking cock. So even when Biden is doing things like, oh, look, well, we're being nicer, or we're trying to be bipartisan, they don't even fucking see it. So what the fuck is the point?
Because what you're doing is you're giving them ammo. It's one of the reasons
they don't need ammo, dog. They've got unlimited ammo from all their They invent ammo. They literally shit ammo.
But that
they
is
make
less
ammo
effective.
Out of fucking nothing.
Look, I agree with you that there's a group of people who are just lost. That no matter what we say or do.
Do you agree that that group of people is about 50% of the country?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
What percentage do you think it is? Just curious.
30, 20, 30. It's a
Even
large
if it was
amount.
30% of the country, dog, that's over 100 million people.
That's a lot of people. Because
that's a lot of people.
But it's not insurmountable because we have elections
That's
in this
pretty
country.
insurmountable, my dude. How many people do you think supported fucking Hitler? Do you think it was 30% of the fucking population? That's a huge, like 5% is insurmountable almost. What do the conservatives always say? We only need 3% of the population to start a fucking revolution?
I don't give a shit what those fucking conservatives who don't know nothing say. I'm telling you
well, you
what
probably
we're
should,
seeing
because they represent
on the
half
ground.
of the voting base in this country. It's probably pretty important to listen to them, I think. They kind of dictate like half of where the country heads.
Jesus Christ. Destiny. Why are you so wrong on this? You're usually so fucking right, but you're so fucking wrong. And look, this idea, right?
Donald Trump, hold on, just to be clear, okay? These are inarguable facts. And if you're going to put me against any fucking conservative dipshit debater, okay, I'll debate any single fucking person on the internet who wants to, who's of reasonable size, okay? One, Donald Trump engaged in insurrection. That's undeniable. And two, Donald Trump brought a case before the conservative Supreme Court, and he was granted the criminal immunity that he needs to beat that case. That's it.
None of these make it okay to take a shot at him.
No, they destroy the country. So if we're not in America anymore, whatever post-country we're in, maybe shooting at people is on the table. I don't know.
No, it's not.
Who knows? But at this point, we are unrecognizable from anything that we were in 2016. Like, it has gotten so fucking warped, okay, that the ex-president is now beating a court case because he has unlimited criminal immunity, all right? I'm good. Whatever happens, happens. If you want to be a king, then you be treated like a king. There's only one way to remove a king from power. I mean, what do you think?
Look, I reject this framing entirely. This
really?
idea,
What do you reject?
All, the first thing I reject is that we have changed fundamentally in a country that we cannot get back from. I think we absolutely can. I think, yes, there are very real threats and dangers to democracy.
Oh, hold on, wait. How do we go back to that? How do we get rid of the immunity? So we're going to pass an amendment? We're going to pass an amendment that says, actually, the president is not above criminal prosecution when he's committing criminal acts. Are we going to pass an amendment for that?
We can. We've done it before.
Not.
Right?
Yeah,
this presentism and this doomerism is something that I just reject entirely. Absolutely, we have agency, and we can absolutely go. Lex Friedman for $50. Agree with Wick, disagree with Destiny in this. Well, thank you, Lex Friedman. Wick Orbiter, very powerful. Yeah, this idea that we've entirely, we are unable to change things. This idea that, no, half the country is lost, we can't get through to them. This is the kind of rhetoric that makes it almost certain that someone's going to start taking shots. And
really,
I don't
so you
know
think? Hold on. You think that Donald Trump? You think that Donald Trump's rise to power is explainable by meanies on the left? Is that what we're saying? Is that what we're going with?
No. But it is,
Okay,
we didn't
so then
help.
Donald Trump
We
became
didn't help.
president in 2016, which was already insane. He had 4 years of a rule that was worse than any good faith leftist like pundit would have honestly predicted. And now that he's out of the presidency, he's engaged in tons of criminal behavior. Well, and he engaged in criminal behavior while he was the president. He's gotten immunity from that, from his Supreme Court, and now he's running again on even more divisive rhetoric, planning to do even more damage next time. This is all because people were mean to conservatives?
No.
Were they mean to conservatives when they mean to conservatives when they make jokes about Paul Pelosi getting beat with a hammer?
Oh my
were
God.
Were they mean to conservatives when they talked about Hillary's emails and fucking Benghazi investigations year after year? Were they mean when they denied
lost in 2018
any type of foreign
partially
intrusion
because of
into
that.
our entire fucking media apparatus? Were they which part were they mean on? Here's the thing. Here's what I don't understand. Can you tell me this, okay? You know what? I'll shut it all down, Wick. I will shut it all down. This is what I challenge you to do tonight, and I'll walk back what I'm saying. I want you to find me 3 links of a mainstream, and they can be alternative to mainstream Republican commentator going, hey guys, maybe we're taking things a little bit too far,
Is Joe
and the
Walsh
liberals
mainstream?
have a point. Is what?
Joe Walsh mainstream.
Joe Walsh isn't even like a conservative anymore.
No, he is. He's a never Trumper, but he is a Republican.
The never Trumpers are out politically. The never Trumpers don't
But they're
survive
still
in the Republican
Republican and
Party
they're still
anymore.
conservative. That's one.
Yeah,
and I didn't even have to Google
They're
that.
irrelevant
That's
now.
one.
They're
You're
irrelevant.
already wrong.
He's an ex.
Right?
No,
You're
I'm
already
not. He's
wrong.
an
That's one.
ex-statesman.
I
I'm sorry. Hold on.
guarantee
Do you want to
find two
support?
more.
Do you want to quote the 2 conservatives that were on the 9/11 Commission too? If you really want the big.
Joe Walsh
no,
is
bullshit.
like someone who's like no one, right? He's got 500K followers. I think more than you on Twitter, right? So he's not no one, right? So again, that's one. And I guarantee you, if I start Googling and I start searching, I could probably find 2 more.
And
so yes, I will take you up on that.
Somebody who hasn't removed themselves from the Republican Party. Find someone who hasn't removed themselves from the conservative movement, and I'll take you seriously. Because never Trumpers who are no longer going to be politically relevant in the political party, I don't think.
Right? Because you know you're wrong, so you're like, well, okay, now I have to throw out more variables so I'm correct, right? Instead of just going with your initial statement. Come on, man, you're better than
I'm sorry, hold on. Is Walsh in office right now?
No.
Oh, crazy.
So they have to be elected officials.
Wait.
You have to be elected officials, not influencers.
No, it's not that he has to be an elected official. It's that the only reason you know about him is because he was an elected official. Why isn't he an elected official anymore in the Conservative Party that I'm criticizing for becoming a fucking fascist? It's because he criticized the fascists. This is the guy that you want to cite as though you've made some kind of prescient point that, actually, no, there are some conservatives that have been cast outside of the party who are called rhinos, Republicans in names only. They criticized Donald Trump. Good one.
$100 from Lawson Harrison. Wick, I think you're correct, but only in a more ideal situation. It's difficult to expect a sane society with half an insane population. This, again, I will find you, those conservatives. I will make but this is my fear here, Destiny, is you're just going to give me more variables why they don't actually count. And I don't know
I want people that are relevant, conservative commentators who have some point over the past few years have been like, guys, maybe we're being a little bit too on the extreme side. Not ex-lawmakers who are no longer a part of the Republican Party, but somebody from Fox News, somebody from the Daily Wire, mainstream political commentators are like, you know what, guys, maybe we need to pump the brakes a little bit.
I will get to Googling. I will find out. But again, this idea, and I'll leave you with this, right? This idea that there is nothing we can do. Shooting should be on the table. That I don't care anymore. They've done the bad thing, so now we should be able to also do the bad thing. I do think that is the reason the Republicans lost, because they're doing the bad thing, right? Because they're unhinged, because they have crazy rhetoric, because they do all this shit. I think that's why they lost in 2018. I think that's one of the reasons they lost in 2020. And I think that's one of the major reasons they lost in 2022. Obviously, it's not the only reason. Obviously, there were other factors in play, but I think that was a contributor to it. So what I fear, what I worry about, is that we will take that off the table as a way for voters to differentiate between the two parties, between the two groups. And I don't want people to be able to fucking post a clip of you saying, oh, maybe shooting should be on the table, and say, well, look, see, the left's no different than the right here, and they're both extremist weirdos. I want to make sure that that's as hard, as difficult for them to do as possible, so when they do find those extreme weirdos out there like fucking Hassan and all these fucking weirdos that they're making similar takes, like you're echoing a lot of Hassan's points right now, which is weird. I don't want them to have an easy time with it, and I want us to be able to brush that off. That's all I want.
Well, that's cool, but that's great. That's fine. When the history books are written about the United States of America, one of the things that people will have to realize is democracy only works when everybody participates. If half the people don't want to row the boat, you can tell your people to row as hard as you want, but you're not going to fucking go anywhere. And chastising them for giving up on rowing isn't going to make the boat move any faster. You have to have your population bought into concepts of democracy. And when they aren't, then the country fails. Doesn't matter what your rhetoric is. Doesn't matter what the fuck you say. No amount of liberals being nice is going to fundamentally alter any Trump position about the positions of Donald Trump, the principles that he has or lack thereof, and the way that he runs the country. And I hope that people start realizing that. Maybe conservatives will at some point abandon Trump, but probably not, because he can basically do fucking anything, because he is now our king, immune from criminal prosecution. God bless. But yeah, when you anoint a king, again, the only way to take a king out is what? I mean, how are kings traditionally removed from power? What do you expect to happen?
Well, thanks for coming on. I still think you're wrong. I will Google those names and find you. Destiny, always a pleasure.
Love you, babe.
Bye. Ugh. Gross. It's gross. Gross. I can't hear Wick. Why can't you hear me? Am I not here? Can you guys not hear me? Did you guys like that? I might actually end on that. Good place to end. Damn, that was fun, but Wick W, yes, of course. I mean, we hear you fine. L Destiny, yes, of course. Destiny was right. No, that's wrong. Yeah, okay. Gang, get to Googling. Find me those conservatives. They can't be Joe Walsh, though. Those conservatives don't count. The conservatives that would prove his narrative wrong don't really count. We got to find the relevant conservatives. And who gets to decide what's relevant? Destiny gets to decide what's relevant. Very convenient. But here we are. Wick owned Destiny. Super Soy, L Lex. Why is Lex Friedman getting L's? He just super chatted me. He super chatted me $50. That's a W. I don't care what you say. If you super chat at me $50, you get a W. Goat Easy, subscribe. W Wix, thank you. I'm bad faith. How was I being bad faith there? Scorned one. How was I being bad faith? Exactly. Describe it to me, please. Jump in my chat. I will pull you in. I will make a little more time for you tonight, right? As Destiny leaves, so my numbers drop, which happens, right? But I don't know. But Destiny's just fucking wrong. Hate to see it. Ultra rare Destiny L. Okay, the scorned one. Why am I bad faith?
Hold on, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Why am I bad faith?
The accusing him of moving the goalpost by saying
did.
Joe Walsh is not. No, what he's saying is completely rational, because if they're not Republicans, if they've been completely excised by the
He's
party.
still a Republican.
He identifies as a Republican,
Yeah.
sure, but the Republican Party does not accept him, allow him to participate. He's not
What do you
involved
mean?
at all.
In what way is he not allowed to participate? Is he
Among
banned from
them.
is he banned from their conventions? Is he banned from their I don't know, fucking meetings and shit? I don't
No, he's completely excised by that community. He can, yes, sure, you can still go to a church, but if no one in the church, dude, I don't even understand how you don't understand.
Yeah, I
how
don't
that's a
understand
rational
either.
thing.
Because
Yeah.
obviously he considers himself a
Because it's
conservative
so
commentator.
that's
He has
fine.
conservative and Republican beliefs. He just thinks that Trump is a threat to America.
Exactly.
That's
And
the
him
one thing he
thinking that-
disagrees
yes.
with. And I agree
And
that he's not a MAGA-ite. I agree with that. But
No,
to
the
call him
point
not a
is-
conservative commentator is just wrong.
No, it's not that he's not a conservative commentator. It's that even though he is a conservative commentator that belonged to the Republican Party and held office for them, simply saying Trump's a little crazy got him completely excised by his base. And all of them, he's now labeled a rhino, like all the other ones. He's not a part of that party. Now, if I could give you a good example, because I know Ben Shapiro was actually really out against Trump.
Trump, he's rescinded.
I know
that.
he's back. I know he's back on it,
yeah,
but
so
I'm
that
saying
doesn't count.
you could still, you could probably still point to it being said at one point because that's what he's asking for.
No, that actually doesn't count, right? When you start and then you go back on it and you now support Trump, that actually won't count.
Well,
Let
why
me read
did he
some of
do
these
that?
super chats
Because if
I
he
gotta take
didn't,
this
he would
opportunity
have
to
got
make
kicked
some
out.
money.
Yeah, go ahead.
Give me a second, gang. It's been a day. Okay. Let's scroll back. I missed a few. $10 from In Pursuit of Knowledge. This is the exact same argument from Michelle Obama. When they go low, we go high. Destiny wants to meet the enemy where they are, and Wick wants a higher standard. Higher standards won't win. I disagree. Higher standards absolutely win. Not all the time, but they can. $5 from Artemis Fowl. I'm having fun. $5 from another new account. Destiny, all your stochastic terrorism arguments are invalid now. Thanks for showing your true colors. Also, you lied last Wick panel about 2016 riots. $5 from Artemis Fowl, the Party of Democracy, folks. $5 more from Artemis Fowl. This isn't doomerism. This is accelerationism, Wick. GoDZ, thank you for the sub. Zero Fuck says W Wick, 100 for $2. 5 gifted memberships from Running Joke. Thank you. $10 from Grassroots Hegemon. I'm almost positive there is a law that trying to anti-alive people is bad. And $10 Canadian, unfortunately, from Gronman. The Destiny Elves have been happening more and more as he's been losing his mind over crazies in the last year. He's in a full blue no matter who mode to an extreme right now. Well, thank you for the money. Okay. Gang. Blue Living Abandoned. Wick, do you mind deleting this VOD? It jeopardizes the canvassing plans for later this year for Biden. Thanks. I'm not deleting the VOD. $5 from Grassroots Hegemon. Destiny going straight up. Return to Monkey. All election ends in beheading. Was not on my bingo card. Yeah, it's bad, gang. It's bad. I am tired.
I'm gonna leave. I appreciate you letting me hop on. I'm sorry. I didn't know if you knew I was still here. Bye.
Oh, I didn't know you were still here. Yeah, okay. Please, Wick, no. What do you mean, no? I gotta end sometime. $10 from Blue Marble. Higher standards are what got the current SCOTUS makeup? No. You know what got the current SCOTUS makeup? It's a lot of Bernier busters who didn't show up in 2016, and we lost that election because they wanted to purity test the hell out of the Democratic Party. That's not the only reason, but that was a contributing factor. Also, Clinton just ran a shitty campaign. She didn't. She thought the blue wall would hold. That was a terrible, terrible assumption to make. She should have been better at this, not presumed because of the poll numbers, and did actual campaign work that was effective. Easy to say in hindsight, back to your quarterbacking. I understand that, but that's absolutely what should have happened. It wasn't because we were too nice. $5. Destiny is honestly very butthurt and blackpilled from the judge ruling. Judge ruling was bad, gang. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. I'm going to end. I love you all.